It's Wednesday, March 11th. School buses canceled in Ottawa and the region as an orange level freezing rain warning is in effect from Environment Canada. Hydro Ottawa and OC Transpo bracing for impact.
Another MP has crossed the floor to join the Liberals, this time from the NDP.
So many highs, so many lows.
Great tea fan. He's got the play record.
A Canadian music icon, Alan Doyle, paid a visit to a local coffee shop yesterday. We'll tell you where he chose to go. Your Morning Ottawa starts right now.
Good morning. Come on in. We are so glad you could start your day with us. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willie.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
I love that Alan Doyle visiting a coffee shop that we recently had on the show.
Yes, exactly. We knew that. We figured he was probably going to visit there. Good thing he got to do it yesterday because we have some serious weather that we have to talk about. In fact, we're going to get to that right now. The entire region is bracing for a potentially dangerous ice storm with impacts being felt far and wide. We start our coverage this morning with word that school buses have been canceled today. The Ottawa Student Transportation Authority canceled buses this morning, while school buses in Renfrew County and Eastern Ontario have also been halted for the day. Parents in Renfrew County are being asked to check their school board's website to see if individual schools have been closed. For more on the weather and what we can expect, let's hand it over to Melissa.
So we do have that freezing rain warning in effect, and it is extensive. This is the turquoise color that you are seeing on your screen. You could see it stretches from Ottawa, Hawkesbury, Cornwall, parts of Quebec as well, out in the valley, Smiths Falls, and areas as well in Ontario. Now, Brockville area and Kingston, they could also see a rainfall warning, and that's because they could see a mixture of this freezing rain and rain as well throughout the day ahead. So they're going to really see a mixture. For us here in Ottawa, likely more freezing rain in the forecast. This is what we're seeing right now. We just started to see a light sprinkle earlier this morning of some light freezing drizzle starting just before 5 a.m. But we are expecting the freezing rain to start around 7 o'clock this morning, and it will continue to do throughout the day ahead. You can see this massive pink band on our screen, and it's just going to linger through your afternoon. It won't change to rain until sometime around 6 o'clock tonight. So we will see that freezing rain linger. 10 up to 20 millimeters of accretion is what we could expect throughout the day ahead.
The Ottawa Public Library is adjusting hours today due to the forecast and safety concerns. All branches will stay closed until noon because of inclement weather. The main Metcalfe branch and the Munster branch will be closed all day. OC Transpo has alerted the mayor and city councillors that the weather could have an impact on public transit. Line 1 of LRT is expected to run every 4 to 5 minutes during this morning's commute. The other lines should be on their regular schedule. Buses could be delayed by deteriorating road conditions. This ice storm is being compared to the ice storm of April 2023, which knocked out power to tens of thousands across the region and down several power lines. Residents are urged to prepare a 72-hour emergency kit and charge devices like cell phones and laptops.
The federal NDP says one of its MPs has crossed the floor, inching Mark Carney's Liberals closer to a majority government. In a statement, NDP leader Don Davies announced that Laurie Idlout's departure from the party, saying he was very disappointed the Nunavut MP had decided to join the Liberal caucus. The Liberals now have 170 seats in the House of Commons, leaving them just 2 seats shy of a majority government. Dozens of high school students in Ottawa's East End walked out of class yesterday protesting changes to Ontario's student financial aid program. Under the current system, students can receive up to 85% of their funding through grants and the other 15% through loans. But under the proposed changes, only 25% would come through grants, while the rest would be repayable loans. Many students say they are worried about the thought of graduating with heavy debt.
Some students have already accepted their offers. Some students are going away for school and they thought they had support, but now you're just you're pulling the carpet under their feet.
In a statement, the province says the changes are necessary to, quote, restore sustainability to OSAP and ensure its availability for future generations. According to the province, the program cost $2.7 billion this year and could reach more than $4 billion by 2029.
In the meantime, dozens from Algonquin College's teaching staff held a rally at the Ottawa campus demanding more transparency about the college's recent program cuts. Faculty members are calling on the college administration to provide written documentation to back up major academic decisions. Last week, Algonquin College's Board of Governors voted to suspend 30 programs, citing funding shortfalls and a decline in international enrollment.
Please show us the information that was used, the financial data, the student enrollments, the external and internal trends that we've been mapping. Show us that data. What information was used? What process was used to come to these decisions?
The union also says it's not too late to reverse the most recent cuts.
The city can now automatically notify Ottawa residents about possible plumbing leaks. Homeowners with a My Service Ottawa account will be sent an email notification when the system detects uninterrupted water flow over a 7-day period. Previously, notifications were only sent by mail and took several days to arrive. Last year, CTV News Ottawa spoke with a senior who was hit with a $1,500 water bill because of a leak in his basement toilet.
A four-legged legend is getting to ride the waves one last time in California.
Sugar, the surfing dog, got on her board for the last time over the weekend after being diagnosed with cancer.
The 16-year-old former rescue dog went from roaming the streets to becoming a 5-time world dog surf champion. She was the first animal ever inducted into the Surfers Hall of Fame.
So cute. Glad that she got out there on the waves the final time.
One last little wave and hopefully some delicious treats after, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Spoiled at that point. Whatever the pup wants at that point.
Anything.
Post-surf snacks, absolutely. So our forecast today, I know I was bracing for impact on my drive-in. Thankfully, it's a little bit slower moving, so it hasn't hit us just quite yet. But it is definitely coming. You can see it on our satellite radar screen here this morning. We started to see some light drizzle just before 5 a.m. this morning, some light freezing drizzle, but we are expecting that freezing rain. This is our satellite radar, and you could see that light freezing drizzle we just saw, and then this system approaching us. So it is expected to hit sometime around 7 o'clock this morning. That's when we're expecting the freezing rain to start, so it will definitely impact your morning commute into work. And this is the pink band we're seeing on your screen. As you can see in our forecast model, this is just going to linger throughout the entire day ahead. This is right through until 6 p.m. So from 7 a.m. till 6 p.m., we are expecting freezing rain. We could see 10 to 20 millimeters of buildup in the forecast for us. So quite a lot of accumulation throughout the day ahead. It will then change to rain sometime around 6, 7 o'clock tonight. And then we will see some light scattered showers, but we're really sitting on this bubble between freezing rain and rain. So we really could see a combination of both throughout the overnight. Still a little bit of freezing rain early tomorrow morning before it then changes to snow sometime early tomorrow morning around 6 a.m. So this definitely will impact your drive home tonight and even your drive in tomorrow morning, as we're going to continue to see more precipitation over the next 24 hours. Now, it will clear out late in the day on Thursday. However, we do have more snow on the way as we head into the late hours on Friday. We could see another 10 centimeters of snow. So some very messy weather on the way over the next couple of days. How much accumulation are we expecting here in the city? Well, our models are showing that we could see about 13.6 millimeters of ice buildup in the forecast for us over the next 24 hours. This is by tomorrow morning. About 18 millimeters out in the valley. Kingston area again, Trenton, they're going to likely more see rain in the forecast, as it will be a little bit milder there. So that's why they do have that rainfall warning in effect. As Cornwall will see about 3 millimeters. So this is where we do have that freezing rain warning in effect. Again, we could see 10 to 20 millimeters. It's quite extensive. It's the turquoise color on your screen. It stretches from Ottawa to Hawkesbury, Cornwall, Cornwall, areas along Smiths Falls, out in the valley as well, and parts of Quebec, right through and through Montreal. So areas in Brockville, Kingston, Trenton, you're likely to see more rain, but there is a rainfall warning in effect, as you could see upwards of 20 to 40 millimeters of rain in the forecast. So even if you're traveling along the 401 today, be prepared for a very, very messy day ahead on our roads. Temperatures today right now sitting at 0 degrees, no wind chill in the forecast, so it feels like 0, -3 in the valley, 2 currently in Kingston, 0 in Brockville. Daytime highs today will reach a high of -1, so we're actually going to drop temperature wise. We'll be warmer this morning and drop into the afternoon and hover around -1 throughout the day ahead. Again, we will see that freezing rain, so grab your umbrella, but still need that winter gear if you are heading out anywhere today. Daytime highs today, like I mentioned, we're going to drop here in Ottawa, and they're kind of ranging from 0 degrees in Cornwall, so slightly milder. Very warm for Trenton, Kingston, almost into the 10 degrees category, 9 and 8 degrees. So that's why they will see more rain than the freezing rain that we're expecting here in Ottawa, as well as out in the valley. -1 is where temperatures will hover into the valley today. Same within Petawawa and in Gatineau. So some areas will warm up in the afternoon. Some areas will drop down, just depend on where you're living in the forecast. Overnight tonight, temperatures holding steady around -3 again, 10 to 20 millimeters of freezing rain in the forecast for us throughout the day ahead. Overnight tonight, we're expecting rain. We could see a mixture of freezing rain and then snow to start off your day tomorrow. -1 is the daytime high, some lingering flurries. And then Friday, we're expecting more snow on the way. We could see upwards of 10 centimeters to end off the work week. So yes, a snowy Friday forecast for us, and it will continue in through the weekend. Sunday, we're expecting more snow, another 5 to 10 centimeters.
Weather is brought to you by Manatic Tree. Complete tree care from start to stump.
Here's a look at your drive-in. So far, so good. We're not seeing any major issues on the roads. It remains quiet so far this morning, and we have no collisions to report.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, what you need
Honestly,
to know.
this has been a real nightmare trying to get this car repaired.
What you need to know about car insurance incidentals and why more vehicles are being considered a complete write-off. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We will be right back. Welcome back. Here are the big stories we are following today on Your Morning Ottawa. The region is bracing for a significant ice storm. School buses have been canceled in Ottawa, Renfrew County, and Eastern Ontario, and you are advised to check if individual schools are closed. The city is adjusting hours at public libraries due to the weather and warning that OC Transpo could be experiencing delays this morning. One step closer to a Liberal majority government. An NDP MP from Nunavut has crossed the floor to the Liberals. The Liberals are now 2 seats shy of a majority. Now let's check on the forecast.
Freezing rain warning in effect for the greater Ottawa area. It could get messy over the next really 24 hours. Temperatures will be falling this afternoon, and then we could see that transition maybe to snowfall through the day tomorrow. Melissa breaks it all down, but prepare to have a messy day out on the roads and avoid travel if at all possible. So speaking of, let's take a look at your road conditions. Nothing major to report right now. Everything is smooth sailing. We're going to start to feel that impact in the next couple of hours or so. We'll be sure to update you on any accidents, detours throughout the morning ahead.
Vehicles are now loaded with technology designed to make driving safer, but all these advances come at a price. More insurance companies are now writing off vehicles, even if they're involved in only minor incidents. Here's CTV's Pat Ford.
Honestly, this has been a real nightmare trying to get this car repaired.
Teresa Baton of Mississauga says she parked her BMW sedan in front of her bank, went in to do some business, and when she came out, it had been sideswiped by another vehicle.
I walked over to my car and I could not believe how much damage was done to the front driver's side fender.
The car is a 2011 BMW 328i with 213,000 kilometers. Despite being a bit older, Baton says she recently spent $10,000 on repairs on the car, and it was in excellent condition. That's why she was shocked to be told by her insurance company it was considered a total loss and would be written off.
the first thing they want to do is write off my car. And I said, no, that's unacceptable.
Baton says she was presented with a settlement offer of $8,900, which she refused. After more than 2 months of negotiations, she's holding firm she wants her car fixed.
If my car was completely damaged and not drivable, then yes, that would make sense. But the car starts and it drives.
The Automotive Industries Association of Canada recently told CTV News cars are being deemed a total loss more often due to expensive parts and delays to get them. Repairs have also increased in price, and so have rental car costs. Safety systems using cameras, radar, and sensors are also expensive to replace.
Total loss is typically just the most economical way to settle the claim. It's just a mathematical decision.
Baton is with TD Insurance. When we reached out to TD, a spokesperson said claims are assessed individually based on the details and terms of the policy. This matter has been resolved after working directly with our client. TD told Baton it would now repair her car instead of writing it off, which was great news for her.
Thank you, CTV. My car is getting repaired. Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. So excited.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
All right, we got a kind of a interesting question today. So our top story has been the freezing rain warning that we're seeing across the region. And then ironically, our question today is, how do you best prepare for spring as it starts to arrive? Especially on days like today, it's something to think about because, you know, it kind of puts aside the storm and makes us think about brighter times.
Right, exactly. You know, we've got Dress for Success coming on today. They're a charitable organization, so you donate clothes for women who are looking for work, can't quite afford a suit, and they're coming on today. I recently dropped off a bunch of clothing there at Dress for Success because that's how I get ready for spring. You go in the closet, you edit, you go, what do I need, what don't I need, and then clear up the closet. That's how I prepare for spring.
I
there
love
you go,
that.
right?
I can't wait for that segment too, you know, getting us in the mindset of spring around the corner.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, switching gears now. Prime Minister Mark Carney told MPs in the House of Commons Tuesday that Canada is not involved in the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran and will, quote, never participate in it. Let's check in with Bill Carroll from the Morning Rush on News Talk 580 CFRA to get his thoughts on the Prime Minister's latest comments with the concerning war in Iran. Good morning, Bill. I can only imagine what you're thinking on this one.
Morning, Bill. Will, are you sure he said that we'll never take part in the war? I'm not so sure. First of all, welcome home, Mr. Prime Minister. Nice to see you show up in the House of Commons. You had to be kind of pushed into that. But, yeah, I mean, I think the reporting this morning is that he clarified his position after a week of people being confused. I'm not so sure he did. If you actually look at the words, he says he supports the idea of preventing Iran from getting nuclear weapons and spreading terror around the world. But does that mean he supports the current attacks by Israel and the U.S. to prevent that? Again, he's kind of, you know, if you want to hear in there that he supports the war, you can make yourself believe that he said that. If you want to believe that he doesn't support the war, you could find a way to say, no, he supports the idea, but you could use other methods other than attacking him. Then he goes on to say that Canada will never be involved. Okay, that's stronger. In the offense. That means he wouldn't be involved in attacking. But he'd been keeping his options open that we may be used in a defensive way sometimes later. I think that option is still on the table. So this is what happens when you direct all of your words towards the guy in Washington and not take a serious moral position on something as important as war. I think he leaves us all a little bit confused again, Will.
And Bill, do you think he's doing that on purpose? Because obviously the opposition saying that he's flip-flopping, and over the last couple of weeks, like you said, it's kind of hard to determine each area. Do you think that this is all on purpose?
Yeah, although I think he's a little more emboldened to get closer to condemning it because I think he sees, I hope he sees what I'm seeing, and that is that Donald Trump seems to be losing interest a little bit. You know, the price of oil has skyrocketed. There's a lot of pressure even from his supporters to take control of this situation before the economy, before affordability becomes an even bigger issue. So I feel like he's losing interest. Think about it. Can you imagine after all of that damage, all of those human beings who've died, that he doesn't complete the mission and the people of Iran wake up and there's just another Ayatollah with the same name doing the same things? It would be a shame to have gone this far and then back down. But I'm starting to think that Donald Trump will back out one more time. The taco president. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Appreciate your take as always, Bill. Have a good show.
You guys have a good day.
And remember, you can listen to The Morning Rush with Bill Carroll, Newstalk 580 CFRA weekdays from 6 till 10 in the morning. Special weather statement in effect. Freezing rain warning in effect out on the roads. It's calm right now, but things are starting to change. Melissa breaks it all down. Coming up, we'll be right back.
So we had a brief reprieve from winter weather, but it's back today in the form of freezing rain. So today on Your Morning Ottawa, we are asking for your comments on how are you getting ready for spring? Of course. Let us know your thoughts. Email us at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca. So I already revealed how I'm getting ready for spring. I like to do a little edit in my closet, take out the clothes. I have not seen this outfit in years. Off it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you?
New life, right?
Yes.
I do the same. I do a big spring cleaning closet like takeover. I actually swap my closets from winter to spring summer. So I do like a full closet shift, and then during that time I also take out stuff to, you know, give to other people if I'm not wearing it anymore. I have to do that for my children as well, and for them they just grow so fast. But one thing I love about spring, and we've already done this once, we've taken out the bikes. So Monday, we're like, you know what? Enough snow has melted off the streets. Let's take out the bikes. And we got the kids on the bikes nice and early. So that's one thing I love about spring is getting out all their summer stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like changing it from shovels to their dump trucks and their scooters and their roller blades and their bikes. So that was one thing I love about getting ready for spring.
Okay, quickly.
I'm
you get ready?
just shorts all the time.
There you go.
They're always
go.
there 24/7, and now I just wear them more outside.
And
very easy for me.
And what's the temperature for you? What's the cutoff temperature? The shorts come on around...
They've already been on.
Oh, there you go. He's ready. He's ready. All right, we're going to be hearing from you later on in the show. We are asking, how are you getting ready for spring? Send us your comments at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up on Your Morning Ottawa, the City of Ottawa Roads Manager joins us to discuss how his crews are getting ready to respond to today's inclement weather. Brian Deniers joins us in about 20 minutes' time. We'll be right back.
Good morning to you. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willie.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
I'm excited for our lifestyle expert. Christian Dare joins us a little bit later on in the show. And we're talking Oscars, and we're going to have some fun. He's always the best.
He is absolutely. He comes so prepared with some crazy, funky games. Cannot see what he has up his sleeve this time around. But right now, we got to talk about this inclement weather headed our way. We're going to do that right now with our top story. The entire region is bracing for a potentially dangerous ice storm with impacts being felt far and wide. We start our coverage this morning with word that school buses have been canceled today. The Ottawa Student Transportation Authority canceled buses this morning, while school buses in Renfrew County and Eastern Ontario have also been halted for the day. Parents are asked to check their school board's website to see if individual schools have been closed. For more on the weather and what we can expect, let's hand it over to Melissa.
Well, we do have a freezing rain warning in effect, and yesterday this went from a yellow warning to an orange warning. So that is what we have currently here in Ottawa. It does stretch quite far through Cornwall, Hawkesbury areas out along the valley as well, and Smiths Falls and parts of Quebec. So we could see 10 upwards of 20 millimeters of ice accumulation throughout the day ahead. There's also a rainfall warning in effect. This is for areas south of us, so Kingston, Trenton area, and Brockville's kind of on that cusp. That's because temperatures warmer down in that area, so you could see more rain than freezing rain, upwards of 20 to 40 millimeters in the forecast for us. So we are expecting the freezing rain to start sometime in the next hour here in the city, and it will just kind of linger throughout the day ahead. So this is at 8 a.m. Watch this pink band just kind of linger as the time progresses throughout the day ahead. So it won't be until 6 p.m. that we will get a little bit of reprieve from the freezing rain and start to see some scattered showers in the forecast. That's when it will shift over. However, as the night progresses, we could see more freezing rain in the overnight. We could see a combination of rain, rain, freezing rain, and even a little bit of snow, especially tomorrow morning. This is at 4 a.m. We are expecting more freezing rain in the forecast, and then it will shift to snow tomorrow morning. So this system is really going to linger over the next 24 plus hours and bringing with it a combination of freezing rain throughout your day ahead, rain tonight, combination with some freezing rain, and then some snow tomorrow. So some messy weather on the way over the next 24 hours. Rosie.
The Ottawa Public Library is adjusting hours today due to the forecast and safety concerns. All branches will stay closed until noon because of inclement weather. The main Metcalfe branch and the Munster branch will be closed all day. OC Transpo has alerted the mayor and city councillors that the weather could have an impact on public transit. Line 1 of LRT is expected to run every 4 to 5 minutes during this morning's commute. The other lines should be on their regular schedule. Buses could be delayed by deteriorating road conditions. Some flights are also being canceled this morning. Ensure you are checking flight updates ahead of going to the airport. This ice storm is being compared to the ice storm of April 2023, which knocked out power to tens of thousands across the region and downed several power lines. Residents are urged to prepare a 72-hour emergency kit and charge devices like cell phones and laptops.
The federal NDP says one of its MPs has crossed the floor, inching Mark Carney's Liberals closer to a majority government. In a statement, NDP interim leader Don Davies announced that Laurie Idlout's departure from the party, saying he was very disappointed the Nunavut MP had decided to join the Liberal caucus. The Liberals now have 170 seats in the House of Commons, leaving them just 2 seats shy of a majority government. Prime Minister Mark Carney has now made it clear Canada will never participate in the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran.
Le Canada soutient la nécessité d'empêcher le programme nucléaire de l'Iran. Très honorable.
The Prime Minister changed his schedule to attend Tuesday's question period after being criticized for not being at a parliamentary debate Monday night. He said Canada opposes Iran's development of nuclear weapons and the regime's exporting of terrorism. He added that Canada will not participate in the American military offense in the region. There are reports this morning that 3 cargo ships have been hit in the Strait of Hormuz, as the U.S. says that it will clear a path through the vital shipping lane. Maritime security officials say they include a Thailand-flagged vessel and a Japan-flagged container were hit. About 1/5 of the world's crude oil moves through the strait, which is now under constraint threats of attacks from Iran. The U.S. military says that it has eliminated 16 Iranian mine-laying ships in the strait.
Dozens of high school students in Ottawa's East End walked out of class yesterday, protesting changes to Ontario's student financial aid program. Under the current system, students can receive up to 85% of their funding through grants and the other 15% through loans. But under the proposed changes, only 25% would come through grants, while the rest would be repayable loans. Many students say they are worried about the thought of graduating with heavy debt.
The newest member at the Toronto Zoo is making its public debut.
This baby Maasai giraffe made her first public appearance yesterday. She was born late last month, and the zoo is now looking for the perfect name.
Oh, it's accepting votes online for the next couple of weeks. If you are interested in voting, you can head to the Toronto Zoo's website.
Aww.
I'm going Deborah.
Deborah, little Debbie, that's cute.
Debbie!
I was thinking Miley in my head for whatever reason. Miley.
That's because Miley Cyrus is making a comeback into the headlines. That's
Smiley,
why.
Miley.
Yeah.
That's what I was going with.
What do you got, Rosie?
I've got a Swahili name, Nia.
Nia.
Which is hope.
Cute too.
Which means hope. I
I
like
love that you have a meaning behind your name.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just went with pop culture. How boring am I?
I just went with the first name that came to mind. Apparently it's Deb.
Well, our forecast today, we're going to see some very messy weather on the way. So we do, of course, have that freezing rain warning in effect. We were expecting it to start overnight. However, it has slowed down. So it is expected to start sometime around 7 o'clock this morning. We saw some light freezing drizzle earlier this morning, just before 5. But as you can see in our satellite radar, this is the system that is making its way to us. So areas in Bancroft and the Valley will, of course, get that freezing rain. They'll even see a little bit of snow early this morning as well, combination first. And we are expecting it to start within the next next hour. That's when we're really expecting that freezing rain to start, and it will linger throughout the day ahead. So this is that pink band, that's the freezing rain, and as you can see, this is at 8 a.m., this is by noon hour, and right through until about 6 p.m. That's when we could see it switch over to rain, and we could see some scattered showers then throughout your evening and in through your overnight. But we really could see a combination of freezing rain and rain overnight, and that's because the system is so close and temperatures really hovering around that freezing mark still. Tomorrow morning, expect more freezing rain in the forecast just for a couple of hours before we see it shift to snow. So it will shift to snow early tomorrow morning. So we are expecting quite a bit of accumulation. That snow will then linger throughout the early morning hours on Thursday and kind of taper off into the afternoon. Friday, get ready for more snow. We have quite a bit on the way where we could see upwards of 10 centimeters of snow by the end of the work week. This is our ice accumulation board, so this is how much we are expecting here in the city. Our models are showing that we could see about 13.6 millimeters of ice accumulation throughout the day ahead. So that's from about 7 o'clock this morning right through until about 6 p.m. this evening. The valley, be prepared for about 18.4 millimeters of ice accumulation. Now, areas in Trenton, Kingston, warmer down there. There's actually a rainfall warning, so you won't see the ice accumulation. You'll just see rain. So that's why your totals are 0. But don't worry, you do have rain on the way. So not escaping this system. No one's really escaping this. For us in Ottawa here, we have that freezing rain warning in effect, 10 to 20 millimeters of accumulation. It stretches through Hawkesbury, parts of Quebec as well, including Montreal, Cornwall, down to Smiths Falls and out in the valley. So the Brockville area, Kingston, Trenton, you actually have a rainfall warning in effect where you can see upwards of 20 to 40 millimeters of rain throughout the day ahead. So messy weather throughout the region today. Temperatures sitting at 0 right now will actually drop into the afternoon and kind of hover on -1 throughout the day ahead. On top of all this freezing rain, part of the problem is we're also going to see very intense winds gusting out of the east 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. So you can see some green on your screen and yellow. Those are those intense winds. So we're going to see ice accumulation on our trees, of course, on our power lines, and then we're going to see these intense winds come through as well. The winds will last right through until this evening. They'll kind of calm down a little bit into the evening, but we're not done with those winds. They'll pick up speed again tomorrow morning, and we'll start to see those winds gusting again around 50 kilometers an hour. Now, areas around Cornwall, Hawkesbury, you're expecting more intense winds than we're even going to see here in Ottawa. You'll be seeing those winds gusting up to 60 kilometers an hour. So ice accumulation, strong winds, that's why, power lines will be threatened today, because we're really just going to see a combination of both. Forecast today, these are our daytime highs, so we'll actually drop for us here in the city, but depending on where you're living, some places will warm up a little bit, but temperatures really hovering around that freezing mark. For us in Ottawa, we'll hover around -1 today, same with out in the valley, 1 for Bancroft, but very warm for Trenton, Kingston, almost in those double digits. That's why you're expecting more rain than freezing rain today. Gatineau -1, same with in Petawawa. So temperatures really hovering around that freezing mark. That's why we're expecting the freezing rain over the rain. Overnight tonight, temperatures holding steady around -3. Again, we could see upwards of 20 millimeters of ice accumulation by the end of the day. Tomorrow, some flurries to start off your morning. -1 is the high. As we head into Friday, we're expecting more snow. 10 centimeters of snow is what we could see mainly late in the afternoon on Friday, so won't impact the drive-in so much. It will be the drive home that could be impacted by this system. The weekend still looking very snowy. No spring in sight in our 7-day forecast. 5 to 10 centimeters of snow.
Weather brought to you by Manotick Place Retirement Community, a community you can call home.
Smooth sailing so far this morning, no collisions or issues to report. And just a reminder that school buses are canceled, all English and French Catholic and public boards in the city and surrounding regions.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers, 1-800-JUSTICE.
Coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa, we are checking in with the City of Ottawa's roads manager as weather conditions are expected to deteriorate this morning. That is just ahead. Here's a live look through our sky cam. Calm sky right now, but Melissa and Environment Canada, we are calling for freezing rain and windy conditions later on this morning. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Here's some of the stories we're following today on Your Morning Ottawa. The region is bracing for a significant ice storm. School buses have been canceled in Ottawa, Renfrew County, and Eastern Ontario. Schools are open in Ottawa and Eastern Ontario, but they are closed today in Renfrew County. And the city is adjusting hours at public libraries due to the inclement weather and a warning that OC Transpo could be experiencing some delays this morning. And one step closer to a Liberal majority government, a new Democrat MP from Nunavut has crossed the floor to the Liberals, and they are now just 2 seats shy of a majority. Melissa, we've been talking about it so far this morning. Forecast a little messy out there.
That's right. We do have a freezing rain warning in effect, and it is quite extensive. It stretches from Ottawa through Hawkesbury, Cornwall, areas of Montreal and Quebec as well, out through the valley and down through Smiths Falls. So we're expecting 10 to 20 millimeters of ice accretion. That's ice accumulation throughout the day ahead. It should start shortly here in the city and continue right through until about 6 p.m. tonight. Areas for Kingston, Trenton, warmer temperatures today, so you'll see more rain than freezing rain. There is a rainfall warning in effect for those areas where you could see 20 up to 40 millimeters of rain in the forecast. On your drive in, still no major issues east to west. Traffic is actually smooth sailing and very light volume out there on your roads this hour.
Returning to our top story now, the city is bracing for a potentially dangerous ice storm today. Let's bring in the City of Ottawa's roads manager, Brian Denez, with more on this today. Brian, good morning to you. So what are you and your crews expecting this morning?
Good morning, Rosie. So this morning, I think we're still a little bit uncertain on what precipitation we're going to have. We're right on that edge of the temperature line, but we are expecting some rain followed by some freezing rain to start over the next couple hours. Our teams have been out all night doing some prep work. Residents will wake up to see some areas that have some pre-salting done, sidewalks, some of the main roads, just in preparation for the morning commute.
So we've seen a couple of significant snow events this year, but not a major ice event. So the preparation and the approach, how does it change when it comes to treating the roads? Are we focusing mainly on salting the roads?
Yes, when we have a freezing rain event, our first line of defense is a de-icing product, and the product we use is just pure salt. We do treat on the roads with calcium chloride with the salt, but the whole goal is to get that material down to break that bond of ice on the roads and sidewalks, and it's really getting the material out and then cycling our beats to make sure we can continue going over everything. The challenge we have is in a freezing rain event, everything gets coated in ice at the same time. So it does take a while for all of our resources to get over every aspect of our transportation network.
As Melissa has mentioned, Environment Canada has issued an orange freezing rain alert. But if folks do have to be on the roads today, what should they keep in mind, Bryden?
If people do have to be out, whether you're walking, cycling, or driving, is really watch those conditions. Once the freezing rain does start, our teams will be out there, but it does take a while for us to get through, especially in icy conditions. So please, patience, take your time and have a plan in place to get to where you need to be, and definitely leave early once that freezing rain starts.
We thank you so much for your time this morning. No doubt it's going to be a very busy day for you. Thank you very much. City Roads Manager Brian Denez.
So we're having a little fun today with our top story. Obviously, speaking of the weather, and we're seeing that ice storm, but we want to take you back to even just yesterday where it felt like spring was in the air. So today, in the form of the freezing rain, we're switching the script, and we asked you, how do you prepare for spring? And here's what you had to say, Missy.
That's right. Here's what some of you had to say. Richard says, I prepare and organize my different seeds for my greenhouse.
Oh.
That's a great way to get ready for spring.
Catherine says, right now, it still feels like fake spring, but once it's really here, I always love cleaning out my car and my garage for a fresh start.
Yes, getting all that salt off the carpets in your car.
I was going to say earlier I said shorts, and then that was the other one.
That was
the
the
garage clean. That's the staple for a spring clean.
It's because it gets so muddy and icky from all the stuff you bring in throughout the winter.
Yeah, you're just like, I'll just leave it for now.
Yeah.
Lisa says, I like to wake up my front and back lawns and gardens. I enjoy planting colorful flowers in the flower beds and the planters. I also wash the windows to let in as much sunlight as possible.
Amazing. Debbie says, my house plants are getting ready for spring, going through my pots, purchased new soil and fertilizers, so we're good to go. Next will be clean all the windows on the inside.
Oh, I love that, cleaning the windows to let more light in, because it will. The days are getting longer, it's getting brighter. And we'll see that eventually.
Yes, definitely. And it does make a big difference. But we'll keep that chat going. We're asking, how are you getting ready for spring? Let us know. Send us an email at yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca.
And coming up next on Your Morning Ottawa. A big Canadian musician making his way around downtown Ottawa ahead of his show at the NAC. We'll tell you where Alan Doyle chose to go in just a few minutes. It is time now for your morning fix, and famed Canadian musician Alan Doyle makes good on the request for a coffee shop recommendation while here in the capital.
Go get a coffee in Ottawa. When I asked the question of where to go in Ottawa, a lot of people said, go to Little Victories.
For the record, Doyle said Little Victories made, quote, a lovely cup of coffee. The coffee shop then commented on the Instagram post saying, wow, thank you so much for coming by, Alan. Grateful to be able to serve a Canadian legend like you. The Great BC frontman was in Ottawa for performance at the NAC last night. He also made it to Parliament Hill. Now Doyle is asking fans for recommendations in the next city he's hopping to, which is Kitchener-Waterloo today. Will, you may have a recommendation for him.
You go to Lucero Coffee, hands down. And it's so funny because Lucero Coffee, and speaking with Andrew from Little Victories, they know each other, and the coffee world is very small, and they both have the same mindset. So, Alan, if you're watching, if not, I'll send you a message. Lucero, it might be the best coffee you've ever had.
Oh, okay. Those are some big words.
Big words, and I can put my foot down. I will back that up.
Well, he predicted an early spring, but it turns out he won't be around to see it. Just over a month after saying we'd see spring sooner rather than later, Wiarton Willie has passed away. Canada's most famous rodent passed away peacefully in his sleep, according to local officials. The albino groundhog was the latest in a long line of groundhogs chosen to predict the end of winter. And the town's mayor says a search will now start for Willie's successor. He says Wiarton residents are grateful for the memories Willie created and the pride he brought to the town.
Aww.
Poor little Wiarton Willie.
We'll miss you, Willie.
Yeah. Sad, but at least he passed away peacefully.
Yes, exactly,
sleep,
and he did a great job too.
He did, and he gave us one last early spring.
There you go.
We want to thank you for that.
There you go.
Canadian basketball superstar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander continues to shoot for the record books, making history again this week, and he did it in heroic fashion.
There he is. SGA with 5. SGA step back 3. He's got it!
That clutch three with the clock ticking down buried the rival Denver Nuggets. SGA not only hit the game winner, but he tied NBA legend Wilt Chamberlain in the record books with his 126th straight game with at least 20 points, which is the longest streak in league history. And that wasn't the only NBA record he shattered this week. Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat scored his way into the record books last night, scoring 83 points in a win over the Washington Wizards on Tuesday. The second most points ever scored in the game. He finished 2 ahead of Kobe Bryant, who had 81 against the Toronto Raptors in 2006, and only trails Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point scored in a game in 1962. Look at all these record-breaking games.
That is a just phenomenal number. It's kind of hard to imagine anybody else on the team had time to dribble the ball and try and make a bucket, because 83 points, that's a whole game
that is.
Full of players, and it's just one person.
That's wild.
Very impressive.
So amazing to see.
All right, we're going to take a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. Things are still pretty calm, but Environment Canada issuing an orange freezing rain alert for our region. You're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back. It's Wednesday, March 11th. School buses canceled in Ottawa and the region as an orange level freezing rain warning is in effect from Environment Canada. Hydro Ottawa and OC Transpo bracing for impact.
Another MP has crossed the floor to join the Liberals, this time from the NDP.
And a dangerous trend that sees young men taking extreme measures to improve their appearance. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning to you. Hope it's going well so far. Welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willie.
I'm Melissa Lamb, and of course we are getting ready for some messy weather, and we're going to have David Phillips on the show, Environment Canada senior climatologist, to kind of break down what we're expecting throughout the day ahead.
Okay, we're going to get to that top story right now about the weather. Let's get right to it. The entire region is bracing for a potentially dangerous ice storm with impacts being felt far and wide. We start our coverage this morning with word that school buses have been canceled today. The Ottawa Student Transportation Authority canceled buses this morning, while school buses in Renfrew County and Eastern Ontario have also been halted for the day. Schools are open in Ottawa and Eastern Ontario, but schools in Renfrew County are closed today. For more on the weather and what we can expect, let's hand it over to Melissa.
Well, we are expecting that freezing rain to start very shortly, and we do have an orange warning issued by Environment Canada, a freezing rain warning, which is in effect, and it does extend from Ottawa through Hawkesbury, Cornwall, parts of Quebec, including Montreal and areas to the north of us, areas in Smith Falls and out in the valley as well. We could see 10 upwards of 20 millimeters of ice accretion throughout the day ahead. That is ice accumulation. Areas to the south of us, Kingston, Trenton area, warmer temps today. So you actually have a rainfall warning in effect where you could see 20 to 40 millimeters. That's the green section you see on your screen. We are expecting that freezing rain to start within the next hour, and it will continue to linger throughout the day ahead. So this is by 8 a.m. The pink band you're seeing on our screen is the freezing rain, and it will just kind of linger throughout the day ahead, right through until about supper time, around 6, 7 p.m. That's when we could see it, pardon me, shift to rain in the forecast for us later on this evening. Rosie.
The Ottawa Public Library is adjusting hours today due to the forecast and safety concerns. All branches will stay closed until noon because of inclement weather. The main Metcalfe branch and the Munster branch will be closed all day. City crews have been out this morning salting the roads.
The whole goal is to get that material down to break that bond of ice on the roads and sidewalks. And it's really getting the material out and then cycling our beats to make sure we can continue going over everything.
The city says it will take extra time this morning to deploy their resources across the entire transportation network. OC Transpo has alerted the mayor and city councillors that the weather could have an impact on public transit. Line 1 of LRT is expected to run every 4 to 5 minutes during this morning's commute. The other line should be on their regular schedule. Buses could be delayed by deteriorating road conditions. Some flights are also being canceled this morning. Ensure you are checking flight updates ahead of going to the airport. This ice storm is being compared to the ice storm of April 2023, which knocked out power to tens of thousands across the region and down several power lines. Residents are urged to prepare a 72-hour emergency kit and charge devices like cell phones and laptops.
Switching gears, the federal NDP says one of its MPs has crossed the floor, inching Mark Carney's Liberals closer to a majority government. In a statement, NDP interim leader Don Davies announced that Laurie Idlout's departure from the party, saying he was, quote, very disappointed that Nunavut MP had decided to join the Liberal caucus. The Liberals now have 170 seats in the House of Commons, leaving just them 2 seats shy of a majority government. Dozens of high school students in Ottawa's East End walked out of class yesterday protesting changes to Ontario's student financial aid program. Under the current system, students can receive up to 85% of their funding through grants and the other 15% through loans. But under the proposed changes, only 25% would come through grants, while the rest would be repayable loans. Many students say they are worried about the thought of graduating with heavy debt.
Mary Shelley's House of Frankenstein in southwestern England is updating its collection thanks to the latest Frankenstein movie.
It's a very modern story in terms of, you know, he's rejected the way he looks, you know, he's trying to fit in, but he's abandoned. He's abandoned and rejected and has prejudice thrown towards him. And you think, well, from prejudice comes violence, which is happening nowadays.
The museum in Bath is dedicated to Shelley and her novel, first published in 1818. Of course, the book has inspired numerous adaptations, including the Oscar-nominated picture from Guillermo del Toro.
The founders of the museum say Shelley deserves more attention for her work and hope their museum can play some part in achieving that.
Wow.
Yep. I agree. Yeah, I would love to see that, that exhibition. But I don't know how many people realize that Frankenstein was created by a woman.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we want to remind you to continue to send your weather pictures in to us, and you can see them right here on the show. The best way to do so is via email, weathershots@ctv.ca. Again, that email address is weathershots@ctv.ca.
Weather Picture, brought to you by Box Me Up. Moving, staging, renovating, just box me up.
So in our forecast this morning, of course, we do have that freezing rain warning in effect, and we are expecting it to start shortly, probably within the next hour. You could see this pink appearing on our satellite radar screen. So areas in the valley, of course, Bancroft will see the freezing rain before we start to see it here in the city. And we will see this freezing rain linger throughout the day ahead. We're expecting it to linger from this morning right through into your evening. Around 6 p.m. is when we could start to see it change over to rain, and we will see some scattered showers then throughout the evening hours, flipping then to freezing rain again early tomorrow morning before we see some snow. So some very messy weather on the way over the next 24 hours. We'll continue to see some scattered flurries into your day tomorrow before this system does taper off, but more snow on the way in the 7-day forecast. Temperatures today will really hold steady around 0 - 1, and that's why we're expecting this freezing rain. Our models are showing that in Ottawa, we could see about 13.6 millimeters of accumulation. Same with out in the valley, they could see about 18.4 millimeters of ice accumulation throughout the day ahead. So Montreal areas could almost see upwards of 30 millimeters of ice accumulation. So just depending on where you're living, it really does have a different range. And of course, areas in Trenton, Kingston, they're expecting more rain than freezing rain in the forecast for today. So this is our freezing rain warning. Environment Canada has issued an orange warning, 10 to 20 millimeters of freezing rain for us here in Ottawa. It does extend through areas of Quebec, Montreal, Cornwall, as well as out in the valley and down in Smiths Falls. And there's that rainfall warning in effect for areas in Trenton, Kingston, as you're expecting 20 up to 40 millimeters of rain throughout the forecast. Temperatures now have dropped. We're sitting at -1. We were sitting at 0 earlier this morning, -4 currently out in the valley. Wind speeds will also be gusty today as well. We're going to see these east winds gusting 30 to 50 kilometers an hour throughout the day ahead. It will come down a little bit late this evening into our overnight, but then again tomorrow morning, we're expecting stronger winds again gusting into the afternoon. So that's why this will also create problems as we see ice accumulation on our hydro poles and of course on our roadways, and then we're going to see these stronger winds, especially for hydro lines. This will create some problems. Temperatures today holding steady around -1 where we're sitting right now. That's where we will hold steady into the afternoon. Same within the valley, slightly warmer in Bancroft sitting at 1. Same within Kemptville, Brockville, 0 for Cornwall today, but very warm for areas Trenton, Kingston sitting at 9 and 8 degrees. That's why you're expecting more rain than freezing rain. -1 is the daytime high Gatineau, as well as out in the valley and in Montreal. So over the next 7 days, a mixture of everything. The freezing rain warning in effect for us today. Tomorrow, we could see some light scattered flurries early in the morning, clearing up into the afternoon. It's a bit colder as we head into Friday. -3 is the high, so that is below seasonal. Some models are showing we could see upwards of 10 centimeters of snow in the forecast, with more on the way in through the weekend.
7-day weather forecast, brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business.
And taking a look at your roads at this hour, we have no collisions to report at this time. Taking a look at the highways, smooth sailing so far, no collisions or issues to report. But to keep note for today, school buses are canceled for all English and French, Catholic and public boards in the city. Buses are also not running in Renfrew County, as well as for students in the Catholic District School Board of Eastern Ontario and the Upper Canada District School Board. Again, with that freezing rain expected to be a little bit heavier in the next couple of hours, avoid the roads if at all possible through the day.
And returning to our top story this morning, a potential dangerous band of freezing rain is set to begin to fall shortly in the capital. So let's bring in climatologist David Phillips this morning to tell us more about what we can expect. Good morning to you, David.
Good morning, Melissa.
Okay, let's talk about when this system is expected here in Ottawa and what we will see throughout the course of the day.
Well, we have seen this system has arrived from Texas, bringing up a lot of moisture, and it's now bumping into the cold air. And so that's why we're seeing rain in some areas, but freezing rain threat, particularly in central Ontario and eastern Ontario. We see problems. We have orange-coded warnings for the Haliburton, Algonquin Park, Bancroft, Renfrew, Perth, Cornwall, Pembroke, Petawawa, and of course all throughout the Ottawa Valley. And it is, as Melissa, as you've been reporting, it's orange coated, and that's significant. It's a severe situation. It's very infrequent, and we're going to see major and widespread impacts for people, places, and things, property damage, possibly disruption. And it's going to have a length of impact. It's going to be 1 or 2 days before we get back to kind of normal. So it is significant. We're going to see starting rain, freezing rain, as you've been reporting, any now or in the next hour or so. We've already seen freezing rain in the Gore Bay, Muskoka area, so it's coming. You're not going to miss it. It's going to be here. And what we see is really about almost 14 hours of light or freezing rain throughout the day, and also very significant winds. Winds are going to be, moderate to strong, 30, gusting up to 50, and that provides a lot more stress on the surfaces, the wires, the tree branches, and more wind stress, and that could weigh it down and cause some breakage there. We see, keep an eye on the temperatures, very important. And it's this sweet zone of around -1 to +1. And that's where the action begins. If it's lower than that, well, you could get just the snow. If it's warmer than that, you're just going to get the rain. So about 8 o'clock tonight, as the temperatures do get up above the 0 mark to, say, +1, +2, we're seeing a transition to rain mixed with freezing rain, probably through up to midnight and then a few hours over into the next day. And then it turns a little cooler. We're going to see snow flurries for most of tomorrow. And really important, too, is the fact that the temperatures are going to turn cold. And so really, sometimes in a freezing rain event, the air warms up. So what nature giveth, it taketh away, because it melts the ice that fell. But in this case, we're turning colder because the system is going to move away, and then the cold air is going to come down more in from northern Ontario, and so it's going to freeze what nature just gave us. So it's going to be, you're going to have to chip away at it to get rid of that ice. So a very significant event, and it's something that occurs at this time of the year when you get this mix of warm and cold air duking it out. And of course, the impacts, people know what they are: the power outages, the slippery surfaces, walkways, and areas that get a mix of rain and freezing rain. You could see possibly some flooding and pooling. So a really messy day. It's one that weather should be the only thing on your mind.
And is there any light at the end of the tunnel? When will we begin to see spring? Because we saw a little glimpse of it.
We've had a long winter, I think. But I don't want to be a crepe hanger, but listen, we're not finished with the snow yet. I don't want to scare your viewers, but in March, April, May in the Ottawa area, we still get on average about 40 to 50 centimeters of snow. So you're still going to be plowing, pushing, and shoveling, about 22% of your annual snowfall, and maybe 11 days with some white stuff that falls in the springtime. We've never had a spring in Ottawa without some snow, but the long-term effects looks like it's going to warm up. We think March is going to be stay coolish, and then we get into April, and of course we see warming up. And my gosh, I had to bring you some good news. I looked at the summer. It looks warmer than normal. So there is some light there, Melissa, but it's a little ways away.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining us. It's hard when you get a little glimpse of spring and then it just goes away and winter returns. So we appreciate you joining us here today with some good news at the end of the tunnel. Thank you. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam this morning. And like mentioned, we're waiting for that freezing rain to start. It has started in some areas to the west of us. So we'll keep an eye on that for you and give you all the details. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 7:15.
Welcome back, everybody. Our next interview is about an alarming trend that more teen boys and young men are becoming involved with. It's called looksmaxxing, an attempt to improve one's appearance by taking extreme measures like steroid use, plastic surgery, even smashing their own facial bones to improve their structure. Let's bring in Kyle T. Ganson. He is a professor of social work at the University of Toronto. His research directly focuses on eating disorders and body image issues impacting boys and young men. Good morning, Kyle.
Hey, how are you doing? Thanks so much for having me.
I'm great. You know, I first want to talk about what are these extreme measures that these men are taking to improve the appearances?
Yeah, there's a very wide range. I mean, some of them are what would be seen as quite benign, you know, like skincare routines, preventing hair loss, you know, different ways to sort of prevent aging, like wearing SPF and sunscreen, all the way up to more extreme behaviors, like you mentioned in the intro, what's called bone smashing, which is taking a small hammer to kind of like make micro fractures in your facial bones and hopefully have them grow and redefine themselves. All the way up to, again, planning surgeries around, you know, chin changes or nose and eyelid structure changes, Botox, all types of things like that.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely a dangerous time, especially with influencers. And there's one called Clavicular. What does he tell his followers about looksmaxxing? Because he's really popular in this space.
Yeah, I mean, he's really promoting an idea that looks are really all that matter, that really nothing else really matters, that in order to get ahead in life, in order to attract a potential partner or engage in any type of success, it's really predicated on one's appearance. And so, yeah, he's telling people that message through his behaviors, through his kind of stunts that he engages in with going out on the street and meeting people and things like that. And so that's really feeding the message to a lot of young boys that, hey, if I want to be successful, if I want to make money, if I want to attract a potential partner, you know, I really need to look this way. I need to change my facial features and be as attractive as possible and really fit a standard that for most is very unrealistic or would require really significant intervention.
Yeah, you know, we've covered the topic really well so far. I want to talk about what are the main dangers that you see with a trend like this continuing on in boys and men?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of social comparison that happens online, of course, like seeing, you know, these quote unquote ideal features in a bit of a tunnel vision kind of mentality where only those ideals are shown on social media. So, you know, really internalizing that ideal, comparing yourself to that ideal, and then, of course, feeling really bad about yourself. So that it can include like low self-esteem, again, engaging in some of these behaviors in really extreme ways that become quite risky or repetitive. That could, of course, have health effects, but also mental health effects like depression or anxiety. There's also been reports of, you know, suicidal ideation and thoughts of harming oneself. So it can really run the gamut. Again, eating disorders, you know, body dysmorphia, really serious mental health conditions can arise if it kind of continues and becomes more ingrained in that person's thinking.
And Kyle, just quickly, right before we let you go, what would your message be to people that are seeing this trend online and having a difficult idea on should I go down this road or not, because what you see is not what you get online and it can be really confusing?
Yeah, I think the message is, like you just said, you know, the online ecosystem is really just like highlighting what is most kind of controversial or getting the most attention. And so it's not real life. It's not reality that you would engage in like kind of real human to human contact. And that we should move past this idea of appearance and looks and bodies as a way to measure one's worth and self efficacy in life. And so the message really would be to like put the phone down, engage in human connection, and move past that kind of mentality.
A dangerous time. Really appreciate you shining a light on this topic, Kyle.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Last year alone, more than 1,000 1,000 women received help from Dress for Success Ottawa. They help women step into the workforce with confidence by providing them with work-appropriate clothing they may not be able to purchase on their own. And joining us today is Executive Director Sarah Florakis and Senior Program Coordinator and past client Alice Bella Kamana. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Great to have you both on here. So, Sarah, let's talk first of all about Dress for Success and the organization, and what type of women do you support?
Dress for Success Ottawa is a global network member of the broader Dress for Success worldwide. And we support women specifically who are facing barriers or challenges to entering the workforce. That could be because they're Canadian newcomers or because they are parents with young children. And we support them, we give them clothing, we give them confidence, and we help them to achieve their goals.
Yes, we're taking a look right now inside Dress for Success Ottawa. There's the boutique. Alice, can you talk about the boutique and how it works? I mean, I was just there the other day.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, our daily life, it's the daily life of the boutique. We receive women ready to go to the workforce. We're ready to embrace the workforce life. And that will be ready to welcome them. And we talk, we have conversation with them. We talk to really understand their stories, to know exactly what they are looking for, and that's how we are able also to help them. So we know that they need career coaching, or not only professional time.
Okay.
So all the programs that we have that time during the conversation, we talk, and then we know, we advise them the programs that we have that should interest them.
I think it's very interesting here that both of you all are wearing clothing from Dress for Success.
Head to toe.
I mean, head to toe here. So it's so important. I think the viewers need to know that. I mean, I dropped off some clothes, lightly worn clothes, lightly used clothes, and shoes as well. I want to ask you, what's it like? You are the program coordinator. You were formerly a client of Dress for Success. How has that transition been for you?
That's the story that I like to talk about. Every time they ask me, I can say my journey with Dress for Success started when I was looking for help, for support to re-enter the workforce. So that's when I knew about Dress for Success, and the first thing that I remember is how I felt, how I was welcomed, I felt seen, valued, and I can say that it's to be a staff now. It's my turn, it's my chance to also to make women to feel the way that I felt when I was client.
Oh, that's wonderful. Sarah, can you tell us about the online campaign, Your Give to Gain?
Absolutely. So in celebration of International Women's Day, we have launched a month-long campaign, a Give to Gain campaign, and we are highlighting women, both givers and gainers, of which Bella is both, highlighting these women who have contributed to the organization or have received services from the organization. And we're looking for your support to make donations online and to help us to provide women with confidence.
Sarah and Alice Bella, thank you both so much for coming on. It's Dress for Success Ottawa. You can see the information on the screen. If you want to donate or get some more information, Ottawa, dressforsuccess.org. You all are just a wonderful success story here. Thank you both so much for coming on the program. Thank you. Thank you. All right, we're taking a look outside here. Gray sky, and we are expecting some inclement weather headed our way. We're under an orange freezing rain warning issued by Environment Canada. We'll be right back after this. 7:30. Come on in. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willie.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
I'm feeling so good. Sorry, I just had to jump in there.
Yeah.
I just cleaned out my shoe drawer and donated some lightly worn shoes to Dress for Success. They were just here just a moment ago, getting ready for spring.
That's why you were speeding over there. Like, I gotta get them
Ran
right
over
now.
there. Here you go.
You
Exactly.
had the bag here. That was so
I did.
smart. I should have done the same thing. I wasn't as organized as you. Not surprised for me, though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, here we are talking about spring, but I know the weather here is quite inclement. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. In fact, that is our top story. The entire region is bracing for a potentially dangerous ice storm with impacts being felt far and wide. We start our coverage this morning with word that school buses have been canceled today. The Ottawa Student Transportation Authority canceled buses this morning, while school buses in Renfrew County and Eastern Ontario have also been halted for the day. Schools are open in Ottawa and Eastern Ontario, but schools in Renfrew County are closed today. For more on the weather and what we can expect, let's hand it over to Melissa.
And Environment Canada has issued an orange warning, an orange freezing rain warning, which they hardly issue these orange warnings. So that is why this is significant for today. And the warning does extend for Ottawa right through to Hawkesbury, areas of Montreal, northern Quebec as well, Cornwall, Smiths Falls, and out through the valley. Now, areas down to the south of us, Trenton, Kingston area, rainfall warning in effect as well. You could see a combination, but really more likely rain as temperatures will be much milder in those areas. But for us here in the Ottawa area, this turquoise color, the freezing rain warning, we could see upwards of 10 to 20 millimeters of ice accretion, which is the ice buildup that we are expected from the freezing rain. Now, it is expected to start within the next hour. It will linger throughout the afternoon, right through until this evening, not until 7, 8 o'clock tonight. That's when we could see it start to mix in with some rain as temperatures do slightly warm up. So we will see a mixture of this rain, freezing rain. You could see we're kind of on the bubble between this green and the pink. The pink, of course, is the freezing rain. The green is the rain. Continue to see that combination overnight, and then tomorrow morning we could see the freezing rain mixed in with some snow as temperatures actually drop down. And because we're also going to see some stronger winds as well, gusting today, of course, this will wreak havoc on our roadways, but also our power lines and our branches. Rosie.
The Ottawa Public Library is adjusting hours today due to the forecast and safety concerns. All branches will stay closed until noon because of inclement weather. The main Metcalfe branch and the Munster branch will be closed all day. OC Transpo has alerted the mayor and city councillors that the weather could have an impact on public transit. Line 1 of LRT is expected to run every 4 to 5 minutes during this morning's commute. The other lines should be on their regular schedule. Buses could be delayed by deteriorating road conditions. City crews have been out this morning salting the roads.
It does take a while for us to get through, especially in icy conditions. So please, patience. Take your time and have a plan in place to get to where you need to be, and definitely leave early once that freezing rain starts.
The city says it will take extra time this morning to deploy their resources across the entire transportation network.
It's a severe situation. It's very infrequent, and we're going to see major and widespread impacts for people, places, and things, property damage, possibly, disruption. And it's going to have a length of impact. It's going to be 1 or 2 days.
Some flights are also being canceled this morning. Ensure you are checking flight updates ahead of going to the airport. This ice storm is being compared to the ice storm of April 2023, which knocked out power to tens of thousands across the region and downed several power lines. Residents are urged to prepare a 72-hour emergency kit and charge devices like cell phones and laptops.
In the political world, the federal NDP says one of its MPs has crossed the floor, inching Mark Carney's Liberals closer to a majority government. In a statement, NDP interim leader Don Davies announced that Laurie Idlout's departure from the party, saying he was very disappointed the Nunavut MP had decided to join the Liberal caucus. The Liberals now have 170 seats in the House of Commons, leaving them just 2 seats shy of a majority government.
This is the perfect stroller for your baby if they have a need for speed.
You look, but still a really functional product that's going to work hard for parents, but in a fashion that sort of stands out from the crowd and is a little bit different.
No way. The Lamborghini and the British stroller company, Silver Cross, they've collabed to create the stroller. It's turning heads at the baby show in London this week, especially with car lovers.
If you can believe it, it is the most expensive stroller at the show, retailing at more than $7,000, people.
Wow.
It's funny too, right? Because when you think like baby safety, you go Need for Speed, but you combine the two. Where maybe they're going for a run, like as they take the baby out for a walk or something. But the Lamborghini of strollers is now officially a thing.
But they have jogger strollers that aren't $7,000.
No.
That probably do what you need to do.
Yeah, exactly. That is called showing out.
Oh
That is really called
Right.
flossing.
Oh.
Look at my baby stroller.
Maybe just pull it up in a Lambo.
Yeah.
No big deal.
And you don't want that today at all.
Oh no, you need some skates on your strollers today. That's what you need to dig through the ice, of course, if you are going for a walk. So we are expecting that freezing rain very shortly. This is our satellite radar. You can see it's just approaching us here in the city, so it should start very, very soon. And we will continue to see this freezing rain throughout the day ahead. This is at 9 a.m. We're still seeing this pig band. That is the freezing rain, but you can see the system has a combination of rain at the bottom, which is, of course, the green, the freezing rain, and then the snow. We can see a mixture of all three together. So we will see this system, it looks like, change to rain into the evening hours sometime around 6, 7 p.m. But until then, we have a full day of freezing rain in the forecast for us. Into your overnight tonight, into your evening hours, we could see this combination of freezing rain. You could see we're kind of right on the bubble between the two. So we could see one more rain, or we could see more freezing rain, or just this combination of both of them. That will kind of continue overnight, and then more freezing rain tomorrow in the early morning hours before this system changes to snow. So this is by 5 a.m. seeing that band of freezing rain before we start to see some flurries late in the morning tomorrow, which will kind of linger into through your late morning hours, early afternoon before this tapers off. So a mixture of everything in the forecast, mainly freezing rain throughout the day ahead, some rain, freezing rain tonight, followed by some snow into your day tomorrow. So part of the problem as well is temperatures will stay cold, which means the freezing rain we will see throughout the course of the day will then stay and continue to be ice. So we'll continue to see these icy conditions right through into your weekend. We're expecting about 13.6 millimeters of accumulation here in the city, about 18.4 out in the valley. Montreal looking like they could see upwards of almost 30 millimeters of ice accumulation. Areas to the southwest, Kingston, Trenton, you're expecting more rain than freezing rain, as there is a rainfall warning in effect for those areas. So that's the green portion on your screen. You could see upwards of 20 to 40 millimeters of rain in the forecast. For us here in Ottawa, the turquoise portion, this is an orange warning, which is very infrequently issued by Environment Canada. It extends through Hawkesbury, areas of Cornwall, Montreal, Quebec, or out to the valley as well. So we're expecting the freezing rain today, 10 upwards of 20 millimeters, as our system is showing about 13 millimeters of freezing rain. Temperatures right now hovering around -1, and that's where we will hover throughout most of the day ahead. So temperatures kind of hovering between 0 and -1. That's why we're going to see freezing rain throughout the day with a combination of everything mixture into the overnight. Wind speeds as well. We're going to see these stronger winds gusting out of the east, 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. A bit of a break from the winds this evening, but part of the problem, of course, with branches and our hydro lines, if the ice accumulates on the branches and power lines, and then we're seeing these intense winds, of course, it just creates havoc for those situations. We will continue to then see stronger wind gusts again tomorrow morning. So the winds will taper off this evening, but then pick up speed again tomorrow morning, and we will see stronger winds throughout the course of the day on Thursday. Temperatures today holding steady where we're sitting right now, which is -1. That's why we're expecting freezing rain. Slightly warmer between Bancroft, Kemptville, Brockville. So freezing light rain likes the temperatures between -1 and +1 and anywhere in between. So that's why we're expecting the freezing rain throughout the course of the day. -1 as well in Petawawa, as well as over in Gatineau and Montreal. So over the next couple of days, a mixture of everything in the forecast, but it's definitely very winter-like over the next week. -3 is where temperatures will hover tonight. Again, 10 to 20 millimeters of freezing rain, ice accumulation, snow on the way for tomorrow. More of that on the way for Friday. We could see another 10 centimeters of snow to end off the work week. The weekend also looking snowy, 5 to 10 centimeters on Sunday. So far, it is smooth sailing on your roads this morning. We are collision free, no issues to report. And just a reminder that school buses are canceled throughout the area. So check with your school boards for more information on that.
Traffic brought to you by Presler Injury Lawyers. 1-800-JUSTICE.
All right, well, the Oscars is literally right around the corner, so we have the most wonderful Christian Dare joining us this morning to talk about what we can get prepared for. And I'm a little concerned because at the end of the segment, you asked me, you hope I have good hips.
Yeah.
That's a terrifying statement. So I have no idea what you have
Hips
planned.
don't lie. We're going to see.
No, but I love this because you always bring us so much fun for an event like this.
Yeah, so the Oscars are this Sunday on CTV, so you can watch them. And I thought, bring over your friends and have a fun party, right? But you know me, I always have to go over the top. So I thought, start with the theme. So I don't know if you saw Marty Supreme this year. So ping pong theme, I thought really, really fun. I grabbed some ping pong stuff. And then I thought you can customize it. So I love my Cricut. I use it all the time. It's a great cutting machine. This is the Cricut Explore 5, the newest one. It's 30% smaller than the other one. And I made custom tote bags. So there's a Rosie Supreme, there's a Melly Supreme. The Cricut cuts through like 100 different materials, so you could make gifts for everyone, or you could make costumes for everyone. Maybe a little Willie Supreme track jacket.
Hold on. Let me move this mic. I'm popping this guy on right now.
So it's just a fun way. I mean, instead of just all sitting in your like PJs, you could literally have like a theme. Yeah, just throw your jacket.
Oh yeah.
And then literally, I mean, with a name like Will, it's just perfect that you're going to be a ping pong champion with this.
Oh my goodness, it just feels right. I feel Marty, I feel supreme.
Right?
All right, look at that. And I love that it's so simple. Like a little thing like this adds so much fun towards the
And it
party.
literally took me like 5-10 minutes. They've got an online design website, so literally it's super, super easy to do. I then stopped by Marshall's because they got a great home department because I needed some extra entertaining essentials. I don't know if you know, they even have fondue sets there. I have found soda streams there, all my dishes, bowls. They've got a great assortment. So literally, if you're worried, you can just go there and it's got a great price, right?
Love it. Yeah, you don't always have the best finds.
So food, I say keep it easy, and I'm trying to keep it a bit healthier this year for all of us. So I don't know if you know Frankie's Organics. It's a Canadian brand. Nothing is fried. It's always baked. It's nutrient rich. It's organic. They've got lots of different flavors. I don't know if you want to try.
I do.
So available at Loblaws or Sobeys. Yeah, so it's a great way to still like indulge and have some nice stuff. You can even have sparkling lemonade instead of booze. So just so you're keeping it a bit healthier so you feel better on the Monday.
I was going to say Monday morning. This is a very smart decision over here.
Right? So there's great options. Oh, Oscar's falling over. You know it's a party when. And then I always love to include something that's sweet. So I love strawberries. I hate the strawberries in the winter are not great when they're local. So I picked up some California strawberries. They're always fresh. And I did 3 different ways. So of course you can do a self-made fondue, some great chocolate dipped strawberries. And then I don't know if you ever had a deviled strawberry.
No, never.
So it's like a mini cheesecake. It literally is cream cheese, little frosting with a couple little crumbs, and then it's literally your strawberry. So it's still a healthier snack to indulge.
Oh, that's a good combo.
Right? It's like a healthy, fresh fruit. You can do it in sweets, you can do it in savories, and it's like kind of a baby cheesecake without all the extra calories.
Yeah, and obviously you can get the sweetness from the strawberry as well.
Right? And because of California strawberries, they're always in season, right? So
I love that. Okay, let's return to our top story.
Our top story. Oh, before that, also what I love to do is I always love to print out a scorecard so all your friends and you can go through it. I found these on FanDuel. They've got them on their Instagram and on their website, .ca. Print them out. You can keep score and kind of like have a little friendly wager amongst the group, right?
Which is a big part of the Oscars.
Right? Are you ready for it?
I think so.
I don't know if you've played this game before, but it's all about your hips.
Okay.
Don't get your balls. So tie this guy around your waist.
Okay. I'm going to go this way.
And then without using your hands, I'm going to move this out of the way for us. You need to get your ping pong ball in your cup.
Oh, man.
So it's all about, can you swing those hips well?
I think so. I think the number one thing is I'm going to ask for your help. I'm a wrist down.
Oh,
Christian,
wrist down.
Christian, can you do me up, please?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Ah! Oh, no.
I say this, and then I can't do it.
There you go.
Like, guys, why aren't you more coordinated?
So I got to get this into the cup?
Yeah, so we're both going to do it. And you can't use your hands. You literally just have to swing.
You really have to.
Oh, you do have good hits.
Thank you.
So it's a great way, so like you don't have to sit on the couch all Oscars, and you can actually play while watching.
Come on, hold on. Gotta get a little momentum.
I am not sure what is happening right now.
So close.
Will, are you ready for some more
I feel like this
internet
could
memes?
turn into like an accident waiting
Melissa,
to happen.
what do you think? I feel like I don't know what I can
Are you ready to go viral again on the internet, Will?
Oh, so close.
Hit a rim. Here we go. Last attempt.
Oh!
All right, I can't get it. Christian, we always have so much fun with you. Thanks for coming and giving us some ideas for the Oscar party.
Thank you, and happy Sunday Oscar watching.
Thank you. Melissa, I'm just going to keep trying here. Oh, darn it. Hold on.
Thank you for the viral moment, gentlemen. Well, switching gears, if you are dreaming of an unforgettable adventure, indulge in the magic of Hong Kong. You can enter for a chance to win a trip for two. This is courtesy of Hong Kong Tourism Board. The prize includes round-trip flights on Cathay Pacific, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane, Hong Kong, $1,000 in spending money, and a 3-day pass granting access to over 20 amazing attractions. Explore vibrant markets and serene temples, indulge in world-class cuisine, and take in breathtaking views. You can enter online at ctvottawa.ca or scan that QR code you see on your screen for your chance to win, and good luck. Here's a live look for a Centennial Glass sky cam this morning. A freezing rain warning in effect. We're expecting significant freezing rain on the way throughout the course of the day. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 7:46. A new study from McMaster University involving 2.8 million children around the world has revealed the most important early life factors that influence whether a child becomes allergic to food. The study, one of the largest of its kind to examine food allergies, furthers our understanding of how allergies develop. So we are paging Dr. Paul this morning to break down the results for us. Okay, first let's talk a little bit about this study and what happened.
Well, basically, 10 years ago, we thought that if you were prone to allergies, you shouldn't start children on peanuts or eggs or anything that can cause allergies, shellfish, before 4 years of age.
Okay.
And then in 2015, 2016, a new study came out and said, you know what? Maybe we should be starting to, introduce it earlier. And a lot of people were skeptical about it. And so the recommendations at that time were, you know what? Let's not wait. At 6 months of age, expose the children to peanuts, to peanut butter, eggs and those type of things. And a lot of people were skeptical, but the good news is that this study, along with another study, looked at what happened over the last 10 years.
Okay.
And believe it or not, in the United States, with this approach, about 70,000 children were prevented from, 70,000 cases were prevented of allergies. So it actually works.
Wow.
So we know now that, something probably happens when you eat the peanuts earlier or those allergic foods earlier, that your system gets used to it and doesn't develop an allergy.
Okay.
So that's changed our approach. And so some of these studies have kind of looked at what are the other factors? Yes, there are hereditary factors. So people who tend to have allergies in the family, eczema, those type of things, their kids tend to inherit those genes.
Okay.
But it also doesn't mean that just because you have the gene, you're going to develop the allergy. So there's an interplay between the two, but still the recommendation right now is for, yes, of course, children, babies start solids between 4 and 6 months of age, and we shouldn't be scared. That's the sort of bottom line. Shouldn't be scared of sort of introducing these foods at around 6 months of age. Again, safely.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, mix it up with milk, mix it up with pablum and those type of things. Eggs, soft eggs, everything soft for choking. Obviously, you're not going to give the child peanuts, but that's the most important thing. So parents should not be worried about introducing these things early. In fact, they may be preventing allergies in the first place.
Okay, so advice to parents after this study has come out?
Is really to make sure that you start what we call sort of challenging these children. Just give them a dab of peanut butter, a bit of egg, a bit of fish, a bit of shellfish. Again, making sure that it's not big pieces they can swallow, because that will likely make a difference. And we know now the studies have shown that it will make a difference. And actually, if your child was born like with the predisposition, it may be actually something that prevents the child from developing allergies. Yeah, and that's a very cool thing. And has really changed. Like when I was practicing 10, 20 years ago, we would be doing the opposite. We'd be saying, don't wait, wait until 4 years of age. But this has been sort of a, 360-degree turn.
A life-changing
study.
But
it's a life-changing study, and it has now, we know, evidence has shown that it actually saves tens of thousands of cases.
Wow, incredible. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and breaking it all down for us. We truly appreciate it.
It is milestone celebration time for this Wednesday, March 11th. Happy 5th birthday to our favorite girl, Aubrey. Have the best day today. We love you from Mom, Dad, and big brother, Luca. Happy very first birthday to Everett. Love from Mama, Dada, Sadie, Callum, and Hudson. If you got a milestone celebrated with us for kids 13 and under, or 100 or more, or wedding anniversaries 50 or more with a little advice, just email us ottawa.milestones@ctv.ca, and we will share that with our viewers. And speaking of celebrations, we have a big announcement to make with you this morning. Congratulations to Lorraine Sherlow, our $2,500 VIP Ottawa Home and Garden Show Experience grand prize winner. And don't forget, Ottawa Home and Garden Show runs from March 19th to the 22nd at the EY Center. Congratulations again, Lorraine. Woo, man, that is a sweet package. Enjoy the show, my friend. We'll be right back.
It's Wednesday, March 11th. School buses canceled in Ottawa and the region as an orange level freezing rain warning is in effect from Environment Canada. Hydro Ottawa and OC Transpo bracing for impact.
Another MP has crossed the floor to join the Liberals, and this time it is from the NDP.
The Youth Infringement Festival is back, bringing plays produced by young people to the local stage. Your Morning Ottawa continues right now.
Good morning, just after 8 o'clock. Welcome. I'm Rosie Edden.
Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. I'm Willie.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
Okay, we have to talk about the inclement weather headed our way, and that is our top story, so we'll get right to it. The entire region is bracing for a potentially dangerous ice storm, with impacts being felt far and wide. We start our coverage this morning with word that school buses have been canceled today. The Ottawa Student Transportation Authority canceled buses this morning, while school buses in Renfrew County and Eastern Ontario have also been halted for the day. Schools are open in Ottawa and Eastern Ontario, but schools in Renfrew County are closed today. For more on the weather and what we can expect, why don't we hand it on over to Melissa.
We do have a freezing rain warning in effect. This is an orange warning issued by Environment Canada, and it's rare that they do issue an orange warning. We are expecting that freezing rain to last throughout the day ahead, and significant buildup as well, 10 to 20 millimeters for us here in the city. It extends through areas of Hawkesbury, Cornwall, areas of Quebec, and out in the valley as well. There is also a rainfall warning for areas in Trenton, Kingston area. You're expecting more rain than freezing rain today. You could see 20 to 40 millimeters. So we are expecting that freezing rain to start any moment now. It should start definitely within the 8 o'clock hour and will linger right through until your evening hours. So it's not until about 6, 7 p.m. tonight that we will see the system shift from freezing rain mixed in with some rain into the evening overnight, changing to snow then tomorrow morning. So messy weather on the way over the next 24 hours. And part of the problem is it's going to stay cold over the next 7 days, which means all the freezing rain we see today will continue to remain icy over the next few days. Rosie.
Courses have been canceled this morning at Algonquin College at the Ottawa, Pembroke, and Perth campuses. The school says any word on afternoon class cancellations will come during an update at 10:30 this morning. OC Transpo has alerted the mayor and city councillors that the weather could have an impact on public transit. Line 1 of LRT is expected to run every 4 to 5 minutes during this morning's commute. The other lines should be on their regular schedule. Buses could be delayed by deteriorating road conditions. City crews have been out this morning salting the roads.
The whole goal is to get that material down to break that bond of ice on the roads and sidewalks, and it's really getting the material out and then cycling our beats to make sure we can continue going over everything.
The city says it will take extra time this morning to deploy their resources across the entire transportation network.
It's a severe situation. It's very infrequent. And we're going to see major and widespread impacts for people, places, and things, property damage, possibly, disruption, and it's going to have a length of impact. It's going to be 1 or 2 days.
Some flights are also being canceled this morning. Ensure you are checking flight updates ahead of going to the airport.
In political news, the federal NDP says one of its MPs has crossed the floor, inching Mark Carney's Liberals closer to a majority government. In a statement, NDP interim leader Don Davies announced that Laurie Idlaut's departure from the party, saying he was very disappointed the Nunavut MP had decided to join the Liberal caucus. The Liberals now have 170 seats in the House of Commons, leaving them just 2 seats shy of a majority government. Dozens of high school students in Ottawa's East End walk out of class yesterday protesting changes to Ontario's student financial aid program. Under the current system, students can receive up to 85% of their funding through grants and then the other 15% through loans. But under the new proposed changes, only 25% would come through grants, while the rest would be repayable loans. Many students say they are worried about the thought of graduating with heavy debt.
My family, we don't live here, we don't come from here, so we're not that well off, so the OSAP grants really help us fund our education and stuff.
We already have a huge shortage in nurses and doctors and teachers, and if people cannot follow their dreams and go to school to fill these professions, how are we going to fix this?
In a statement, the province says the changes are necessary to, quote, restore sustainability to OSAP and ensure its availability for future generations. According to the province, the program costs $2.7 billion this year and could reach more than $4 billion by 2029.
Traditional reindeer racing in Finland is drawing a crowd.
Oh, those are some serious reindeer games. Raising and caring for reindeer has been a longtime part of Scandinavian culture, especially for the indigenous Sami people in the north.
Reindeer racing is an organized and regulated competition. And this year, the winner was one of the races was a reindeer named Pom Pom. His owner says he's exceptionally fast and smart. 2 great qualities for a race.
Okay, they're going so fast. Is it one? Okay, it's one reindeer to a sled. It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah, it is.
They're so fast and they're all together.
Oh,
that
look at
is incredible.
So on the show so far, we have had a Lamborghini baby stroller with top speed. We've had a reindeer race. What's next to come on the program?
And the Lamborghini baby stroller probably worth more than the reindeer, right? Because that was like $7,000 for a baby stroller.
Okay, but now Santa's sleigh makes sense. See how fast it goes with one reindeer on a sled? Think about how many Santa has. It's no wonder he's, can go from place to place so quickly. It's all making sense.
I was going to say, you're starting to put the pieces together here.
I am, absolutely. On our forecast today, of course, there's that freezing rain warning. We are expecting it to start. It's a little slower than anticipated. It was supposed to start earlier. Of course, it has slowed down a little bit, but you can see all this pink on our radar screen. It is fast approaching, so we are expecting freezing rain, and it will start, of course, in areas to the west first before it hits us here in downtown Ottawa, continuing to freezing rain throughout the day. So the pink band on your screen is the freezing rain. Temperatures at this sweet spot to see freezing rain last throughout the day ahead, and it will linger right through until about 6-7 o'clock tonight, so right through into your evening hours. But we could still see the freezing rain overnight, but we could start to see it mixed in with some rain as temperatures kind of warm up a little bit later on this evening. So freezing rain possible in through your overnight, but more freezing rain as well early tomorrow morning. So we're going to kind of see a combination overnight of freezing rain, and even some snow. Tomorrow morning, temperatures will actually drop down quite a bit, and we'll see the system change to snow. So we're going to really see a combination of everything over the next couple of days, and it will continue to stay cold, which means the icy conditions we see and the freezing rain we see today will then just continue to stay icy over the next few days. This system will then clear out late in the afternoon on Thursday, but we have more snow on the way in the 7-day forecast. How much accumulation are we expecting? Our models are showing around 11 millimeters of accumulation here in Ottawa, so it is changing. Earlier this morning it was about 13, so a little bit less than that into the afternoon. Valley looking at about 7.8 millimeters. Montreal around 25 millimeters of ice accumulation. Areas in Kingston, Trenton, more rain than freezing rain. So you're not really expecting as much freezing rain today. You're expecting more rain, and that's because temperature's a little bit warmer. The freezing rain warning is the turquoise color. It does extend through areas in Quebec as well as Montreal, out in Hawkesbury, Ottawa, areas to the north of us, out in the valley as well. Then this little strip of green you're seeing here on your screen, that's where we're expecting a rainfall warning. warning, so there is a rainfall warning in effect where you could see 20 up to 40 millimeters of rain in the forecast for us. Right now, temperatures sitting at -1. Again, that's why we're expecting freezing rain. Between -1 and +1 is when freezing rain usually happens. So we will sit there into the afternoon as well. That's actually our daytime high for today. So temperatures will really hover around -1 into the afternoon. On top of all the freezing rain, we have stronger winds gusting out of the east, 30 up to 50 kilometers an hour. So, of course, these more intense winds will also wreak havoc on our hydro lines or branches. Atop with the accumulation of the icy branches, of course, this will be hard conditions over the next 48 hours for us here in the city. -1 is where temperatures will hover today. Same within the valley and over in Gatineau and in Montreal. And over the next couple of days, it will stay cold. So no spring conditions over the next week. -3 is the low for tonight, -1 for tomorrow. More snow on the way Friday in through the weekend forecast. On your drive in right now, volume's been pretty light. Again, no major issues east to west. The good news is we are collision free and we're still waiting for that freezing rain. So conditions out there on your roadways are looking decent this hour.
British Columbia is home to wineries across 9 distinct regions, from intimate small batch producers to grand estates. And we want to send you on the ultimate BC wine country escape. 4 days surrounded by breathtaking vineyards, lake, and mountain views. This ultimate journey includes airfare, accommodation, and incredible winery experiences. You'll wander scenic back roads, share unforgettable vineyard views, and discover the region's celebrated wines and culinary delights. For your chance to win this incredible wine country getaway, enter on our contest page at ctvottawa.ca. Good luck. The Ottawa Guild of Potters is putting on the Great Bowls of Fire event once again this year in the Glebe. Our guests are standing by in the Your Morning Ottawa Lazy Boy Lounge. They will join us after the break. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam. Cloudy conditions, and it looks like we've got some freezing precipitation on the way. We'll be right back after this short break.
Today's snow report brought to you by Sommet Edelweiss, where happiness falls from the sky.
And here is a look at our ski conditions for this morning. Edelweiss is closed, of course, due to the weather and the impending ice storm. And that is the case for all of the ski hills in our regions today. The slopes are closed, of course, due to the freezing rain and the inclement weather we are expecting.
JS here again, reminding you where to find the best ski and ride conditions, the best snowmaking, the quickest lifts, and your favorite runs. Come ski with me at Summit Edelweiss.
The Ottawa Guild of Potters hosts a yearly event bringing together potters, local restaurants, and bakeries in support of a great cause. Great Bowls of Fire organizer Jackie Lyons is here with more. I love that name, Great Bowls of Fire. Good morning to you, Jackie.
Great.
It really is great. Talk about the event.
So it will be on this Saturday at the Glebe Community Center. So it's a real collaboration between the restaurants and the bakeries that donate food and soup, bread, and the potters who donate their time and energy to make the bowls. So we sell tickets to this event. The tickets sold out in less than 24 hours this year.
Event.
It's very popular.
Oh, that's wonderful. But that is good news, because there is a charitable component to this event.
That's right.
So good ticket sales means good things for the charity. Talk about that.
Yeah, so this event's been going on for 20 years.
Okay.
That the Ottawa guild of Potters have been organizing this event. So we are $2,000 away from contributing $250,000 to the food bank. So this year we will get over that, because last our total is $248. So we're really close. We're really close. And last year we raised $18,000. So we're hoping we can at least do that and maybe more.
Okay.
It's a really fun event.
Yes.
That happens every year.
Sold out. But if folks want more information, or can they donate even though they don't have tickets to the event? Can they? Okay. What's your website?
They can donate to the food bank.
There you go, straight to the food bank.
I'd like to highlight the restaurants that have contributed the soups and the bread.
Sure.
So we have All About Soups, Coconut Lagoon. Some of these names will be familiar, hopefully, to everybody. Black Lagoon, Poisson Bleu, Les Fougères.
Wow, there you go. You
Yeah,
got a
on
lot.
Union Street.
Okay, yeah.
Stouffa, Top Shelf Preserves, the Red Apron, Time and Again. And then our bakeries are Strawberry,
Okay.
Blonde, True Loaf, Wild Oat, and Nate's Bread.
And tell me about the pottery right here. Just
Okay,
quickly,
so these
we
are
don't
some.
have much time. But
Yeah, so we have 17 potters who have donated 25 bowls to the event.
Fantastic.
So this is just a little sample
Yes.
of some of the bowls that will be there this year. And every
Beautiful.
year, different potters,
Yeah.
similar potters, and we all come up with different designs every year.
Okay, so the event is sold out, great bowls of fire, but it's so wonderful because the funds raised go to the different charitable organizations, the food bank, and if you want more information, you can go to Jackie?
OttawaGuildsOfPotters.ca.
OttawaGuildsOfPotter.ca. Jackie, thank you so much for coming by. The bowls
Thank you,
are beautiful.
Rosie.
You
Thank
do just
you.
a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Melissa, over to you.
Well, coming up next, the Youth Infringement Festival is bringing plays produced by young people to the local stage. Coming up, we are going to get a little sneak peek. Here's a live look at our Skycam on George Street this morning, and still dealing with cloudy skies, of course, waiting for that freezing rain to start, as there is a freezing rain warning in effect, and starting in the west end. So the freezing rain has started in areas to the west of us. Of course, we'll have those full details as well. Good morning, Ottawa. It is 8:19. The Youth Infringement Festival kicks off today in Ottawa. It allows youth in the capital to produce original work guided by professional mentors. Here to discuss, we have spokesperson Ann Hamels. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, first of all, tell us about the festival. Very exciting times.
It is. So the Youth Infringement Festival, it started in 1998.
Wow.
So it's now celebrating its 28th year. And it's a festival in which youth aged from 16 to 25 can create, write, produce, direct, stage manage, and perform in their own shows.
And so what's it like for people who get to take part in this?
It's really fantastic. So YIF really functions as a way to support youth through mentorship. We hire mentors who are professional theater makers, directors, writers in Ottawa to come and support the youth in creating their own shows. And it really comes in and offers this in-between for youth who are trying to become professionals.
I love that.
And who are able to then hone their craft through the festival.
And is there a way that people can come and see what is being put on?
Yes, so we are on for the next 2 weeks. We start tonight. Tonight's our opening night. We're at Arts Court on 2 Daly Avenue. And tickets are on sale on our website, on our Instagram. You can find all the links there. What's really exciting about YIF is we've got 6 shows that are being presented over 2 weeks. And each night you get to see 3 shows.
Wow.
So you get 1 ticket, you've got 3 shows right away. And it's going to be a fantastic time.
Can you kind of describe some of the shows that people will get to check out this year?
Yeah, so we've got, tonight we've got Drink the Kool-Aid, which happens in the 70s, in the boardroom, the PR boardroom of the Kool-Aid company, right after the Jonestown Massacre.
Okay.
So how does the PR boardroom respond to that? Second show tonight, Temporary Feelings, about 2 friends that reunite in a coffee shop kind of by mistake and how that ends up happening. And a devised piece, which was fully created by the creators without having a script when they started rehearsals.
Wow.
About Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
Called D&D, The Secret of the Forest.
What's the response been like from the audience and from people who have gone in years past?
Oh, we've had really fabulous responses. The shows are always very varied, very diverse. Some shows will make you cry, some shows will make you laugh. And it really is a place of celebration, and the audiences are really happy to be there with us.
And as a producer, what's the experience been like for you to be able to, you know, kind of get this hands-on experience?
It's been fantastic. I didn't know I enjoyed producing until this year when I started.
Okay.
I'm a trained actor, director, and that's mostly what I've been working in. But being able to work more on the backside and helping the shows come to life has been really nice because it gives me a space to also grow as an artist and learn all of those skills to then bring forward in my career.
And does it kind of give you confidence as well, knowing that you kind of have this background stepping into the professional world?
Totally, totally. And what's lovely is at YIF, there's folks who already work professionally who are also using YIF as a way to start something new. So for example, we've got some folks who maybe have been actors for a while and are like, oh, I want to try stage managing.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it in a professional setting because it might be too much of a jump, but I'll try it here first.
Oh, I love that idea. Okay, where can people go to get tickets and more information?
So on our website, youthinfringement.ca, or on our Instagram, which is also at youthinfringe.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and best of luck throughout the next 2 weeks.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Will.
Thanks, Melissa. Well, it's contest time. Are you potentially dreaming of an unforgettable adventure? Indulge in the magic of Hong Kong. Enter right now for a chance to win a trip for two, courtesy of the Hong Kong Tourism Board. The prize includes round-trip flights on Cathay Pacific, 4 luxurious nights at the Park Lane, Hong Kong, $1,000 in spending money, and a 3-day pass granting access to over, not 19, but over 20 amazing attractions. Explore vibrant markets and serene temples, and of course, indulge in world-class cuisine and breathtaking views. Enter online at ctvottawa.ca, or you can scan that QR code on the right side of your screen. Good luck to all. Still to come right here on Your Morning Ottawa, Chef David Godso is talking about the state of the restaurant industry and how he brings restaurant quality dining experience right to your home. He is standing by in the Your Morning kitchen. He's pacing. Is he nervous or is he just excited for all that food? We'll be speaking with him shortly. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Good morning. Coming up on 8:30. Welcome. I'm Rosie Edda.
I'm Willie Yellow.
And I'm Melissa Lamb.
And we've been talking about the weather all day today, but it is for good reason, not our normal talk, and that's our top story as well.
Absolutely. We'll get right to it. The entire region is bracing for a potentially dangerous ice storm with impacts being felt far and wide. We start our coverage this morning with word that school buses have been canceled today. The Ottawa Student Transportation Authority canceled buses this morning, while school buses in Renfrew County and Eastern Ontario have also been halted for the day. Schools are open in Ottawa and Eastern Ontario, but schools in Renfrew County are closed today. For more on the weather and what we can expect, let's hand it on over to Melissa.
And we have started to see some light freezing rain right now at the Ottawa airport and areas to the west of us as well. So light freezing rain has been reported to areas in the south of the city and in the west of the city. We're still waiting for it here in the Byward Market, but it is fast approaching, and we are expecting this freezing rain to last throughout the course of the day. There is a freezing rain warning issued by Environment Canada, and this is an orange issue. So it's not frequently used by Environment Canada to issue an orange warning, which means it is extensive, and of course it could create havoc throughout the days ahead. We could see 10 to 20 millimeters of buildup throughout the course of the day, and this warning is issued through areas of Cornwall, out through Quebec, Montreal, areas to the north of us and out in the valley as well. Areas to the south of us in Kingston, Trenton area, warmer temperatures today. There is a rainfall warning in effect, and that is the green on your screen. So you're expecting 20 up to 40 millimeters of rain, but it will be icy from this morning right through until the late part of your evening. Rosie.
Courses have been canceled this morning at Algonquin College at the Ottawa, Pembroke, and Perth campuses. The school says any word on afternoon class cancellations will come during an update at 10:30 this morning. OC Transpo has alerted the mayor and city councilors that the weather could have an impact on public transit. Line 1 of LRT is expected to run every 4 to 5 minutes during this morning's commute. The other lines should be on their regular schedule. Buses could be delayed by deteriorating road conditions. City crews have been out this morning salting the roads.
The whole goal is to get that material down to break that bond of ice on the roads and sidewalks, and it's really getting the material out and then cycling our beats to make sure we can continue going over everything.
The city says it will take extra time this morning to deploy their resources across the entire transportation network.
It's a severe situation. It's very infrequent. And we're going to see major and widespread impacts for people, places, and things, property damage, possibly, disruption, and it's going to have a length of impact. It's going to be 1 or 2 days.
Speaking of disruptions, some flights are also being canceled this morning. Ensure you are checking flight updates ahead of heading to the airport.
The federal NDP says one of its MPs has crossed the floor, inching Mark Carney's Liberals closer to a majority government. In a statement, NDP interim leader Don Davies announced Laurie Idlout's departure from the party, saying he was very disappointed the Nunavut MP had decided to join the Liberal caucus. The Liberals now have 170 seats in the House of Commons, leaving them just 2 seats shy of a majority government. Prime Minister Mark Carney has now made it clear Canada will never participate in the U.S.-Israeli war with Iran.
Le Canada soutient la nécessité d'empêcher le programme.
The Prime Minister changed his schedule to attend Tuesday's question period after being criticized for not being at a parliamentary debate Monday evening. He said Canada opposes Iran's development of nuclear weapons and the regime's exporting of terrorism. He added that Canada will not participate in the American military offense in the region. There are reports this morning that 3 cargo ships have been hit in the Strait of Hormuz as the U.S. says it will clear a path through the vital shipping lane. Maritime security officials say they include a Thailand-flagged vessel and a Japan-flagged container were hit. About 1/5 of the world's crude oil moves through the strait, which is now under constraint threats of attacks from Iran. The U.S. military says it has eliminated 16 Iranian mine-laying ships in the strait.
A UK zoo has captured the moments 4 young bears came out of hibernation.
That's what we need on this freezing rain day. Manna, Minnie, Naya, and Cinderella are European brown bears, all between the ages of 5 and 7. They've been hibernating for months, but they are ready to get out and about to spring into the air.
They eventually headed over to the pool in their enclosure for a dip, which is probably nice to do after a long sleep. Yeah, you might want to wash off a little bit, get ready.
Look at all
Prim
that
and prep.
green grass as well.
Yeah.
I know we've started to see some, I wouldn't say it's quite green, it's that, you know, dead grass on some of our lawns because the snow melted so quickly over the last week. We're seeing patches of grass now, but not for long.
No, it is nice though, even just to see glimpses of the even so-called dead grass, because like, hey, some green for now.
For now. and the nice aroma of spring, which can be a little stinky at this time of the year.
Stinky.
It's a little stinky. Today, though, we're going to see glimpses of ice. Yes, we're expecting freezing rain. It has started in areas at the airport as well as to the west of us, and it will continue to freeze rain throughout the course of the day. So this is what we are expecting in our skies. Freezing rain this morning right through into the late part of your afternoon, and this is quite an extensive band of freezing rain. That is the pink you're seeing on your screen. Some areas will see more rain, and then some areas to the north of us seeing snow in the forecast. So this low pressure system from Texas really bringing a mixture of everything in the forecast. For us, freezing rain until later on this evening. It looks like around 8 o'clock tonight, that's when we could start to see the freezing rain mixed in with some rain. That's the green on your screen, but you can see we're kind of just on the bubble, so that's why we will see this mixture of freezing rain. That will continue overnight and early tomorrow morning, more freezing rain in the forecast, but then it will flip to snow into tomorrow morning, early in the morning, around 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We're expecting some snow, and we'll continue to see a few flurries throughout the course of the late morning hours on Thursday, clearing up into the afternoon. But then as we head into Friday evening overnight, we are expecting more snow on the way. So winter still very much here in the capital. We're going to see these winter systems over the course of the next week. How much freezing rain accumulation are we expecting? Well, here in Ottawa, earlier it was about 13 millimeters. It has updated since then, and we're now expecting about 11 millimeters of ice accumulation throughout the course of the day, about 7.8 out in the valley and about 25 millimeters out in Montreal. Now, areas to the south of us, Kingston, Trenton, there's a rainfall warning in effect. That's why you're seeing a total of 0 for ice accumulation. You're expecting more rain, and you could see 20 to 40 millimeters. So that's the green part on your screen. You do have that rainfall warning. The rest of the area, of course, we're under this freezing rain warning. So this is an orange warning issued by Environment Environment Canada. It's not very often that they issue an orange warning. It is extensive as well. It stretches to Hawkesbury, Cornwall, areas of Montreal, Quebec, and out in the valley and down through Smiths Falls as well. Temperatures, perfect conditions for this freezing rain. Of course, temperatures, they like it between -1 and 1, and that's where we will hold steady throughout the course of the day. -1 is where temperatures are sitting right now here in this city. Also on top of the freezing rain, we're expecting these strong, intense winds gusting out of the east, 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. So, of course, this is going to be hard on our traffic, on our hydro lines, as well as on our tree branches because of all the ice accumulation and these intense winds. It's just going to be very, very heavy for our power lines as well as our tree branches throughout the course of the day. And these wind speeds will calm down a little bit later on this evening, but then pick back up tomorrow morning. So we're expecting stronger winds over the course of the next 48 hours. Temperatures today, this is where we will sit through our daytime high. Some areas will warm up, some areas will cool off. -1 is where we will hover here in this city. 1 degree for Bancroft, Kemptville, Brockville, 0 in Cornwall, -1 in Pembroke. That's why we're seeing this band of pink of freezing rain, because these are ideal conditions. Areas to the south of us, Trenton, Kingston, where it's warmer, you'll see more rain, and that's because it's just too warm for freezing rain. In the forecast in Gatineau today, a high of -1, same within Montreal. Over the next couple of days, winter is still very much here. -1 for tomorrow. Again, snow on the way early in the morning, and then quite a bit of it on the way as we head into Friday. We could see upwards 10 centimeters, mainly late in the day on Friday and through the overnight. Some lingering flurries for Saturday. More snow for Sunday. Ski hills are loving this, 5 to 10 centimeters.
Weather brought to you by Yeggendorf Rashid. Experience, knowledge, and a commitment to excellence.
Collision southbound at Terry Fox at Richardson. That direction is completely closed right now, and roads remain quiet. We have no major collisions to report or incidents this hour.
We got a special treat for you this morning. David Godso joins us. He has over 20 years experience in the fine dining, in the restaurant industry. And we're not only going to have a delicious plated item today, but we're actually going to have a unique conversation where we get some advice from you. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Great to be here.
And, you know, it's so wonderful because we highlight so many great local restaurants on our program. And at times it could seem like everyone's doing really well, but behind the scenes, a lot of these restaurants are actually struggling.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the things I'm looking to talk about a bit today is that, you know, a lot of restaurants might look very busy on the outside, but, you know, Restaurant Canada just put out a report recently. 7,000 restaurants closed last year in our country, and then this year they're projecting another about 4,000 will close. And over 50% of them are operating at either a loss or just barely scraping by. So that's one of the things I'm working with right now with my own brand that I've sort of relaunched right now called DG Cuisine, is to work with restaurant partners to help evaluate their businesses and see where they're struggling and how they can improve some of their systems and some of their operations, given the new climate.
Yeah, and you know, the cost of everything is starting to go up. Consumers are less likely to go out and spend some money outdoors. For some restaurant owners that are kind of watching right now, what would be some advice if they're struggling just to get by?
I think it's to not be afraid of change is really, I mean, a lot of restaurants have been around for a long time. You get entrenched in your own systems, and what used to work nowadays might not work. I mean, we've had crazy food inflation, we've had crazy labor inflation, and you can't just directly pass that along to consumers, because what we hear from a consumer side is they can't afford to come out and eat in restaurants. So we can't just keep increasing menu prices and just expect to operate the same way. You really need to deep dive into your operations and see where you can not cut corners, but improve efficiencies. And maybe you need to look at your concept and evaluate what that concept is and what offerings you can afford to offer to your guests, given the constraints of the restaurant that you have.
I love that. Such great advice. And again, over 20 years experience, so you've been through it all and you can help so many different situations. But you're not just here for advice, you're also going to use your expertise to provide us with a very aesthetically pleasing dish today.
Exactly. So one of the things on the side, just for fun, I like to do some private dining on the side. So one of my partners that I work with is Meat and Livestock Australia. So I have a beautiful piece of Australian Wagyu here. So I'm going to do a nice beef tataki with this. So it's just been lightly seared, seasoned with a little bit of salt. And recently I was in Chicago with these fine people from Australia, and we were working at Flashpoint Innovations, talking with their team there, and learning about different ways to utilize beef, different ways to like upcycle ingredients. So one of the things that we've done is actually made our own aminos, which is like a garum or kind of like a fish sauce. So we've taken all of our beef scraps, and this is going to be kind of the seasoning on our meat. So we've taken all our beef scraps, roasted them, fermented them with koji rice, and kind of extracted our own kind of fish sauce. So this is going to be a bit of our seasoning here.
Nice.
So for plating it up, I'm gonna throw my nice, beautiful beef down. And we got a series of garnishes here. So on the bottom, we're gonna do a little bit of yuzu ponzu, just to kind of flood the plate. Oopsies. Helps if I open the lid here. A little bit of yuzu ponzu. Just to kind of dress up the plate. And then a series of garnishes. So we've got some pickled daikon, some pickled shiitake. Some pickled daikon, put that down here. Pickled shiitake mushrooms.
It's looking good already.
Yeah. And then we've got a nice little yuzu. These are yuzu pearls, so like a yuzu caviar here.
Oh, cool, okay.
Just to kind of garnish that bad boy up. And then we're gonna go in with some of our textures. So I've got a little bit of puffed amaranth here, just to kind of add a little bit of texture. A nice little twill that we've made here, just to add some nice little beauty to it.
Yeah, it already looks unrecognizable from when you just put the meat on.
Right,
The
it looks like throwing the meat on. A little bit of curly cress, so this is like a watercress microgreen, just to add a little bit of greens. And then we've taken, this is the very, very last of the ramps that we had from last season.
Okay.
We're just about to start the summer season, so we've got some beautiful little green oil here, just to kind of highlight the plate.
Oh, and what makes it green?
That's the ramp top. So what we do is we harvest all our ramps in the spring.
Yeah.
And what we do is we take all the bulbs and we pickle them, and then we take all the greens and we just roast them and then freeze them. And then we blitz them in some oil as like we pull it when we need them. We roast it with a little bit of oil. And we get this beautiful bright green sort of allium oil to garnish it. So this would be an example of a dish that like, I'd come to your house and I'd make for you and to bring the restaurant to your house. It's also a type of dish that you'd see at Restaurant 18.
Oh,
yeah.
It's so cool. Get a zoom in on that bad boy, our camera operator, because now it doesn't even look like just the meat's gone. It's been covered with all these delicious items. Appreciate you coming on. If people are looking for some more advice, especially during this difficult time, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Visit me on my website, dgcuisine.ca. You can reach out to me there. I'd be happy to sort of consult with you and talk about your business and see how we can help you.
Amazing. Really appreciate your time this morning. And we're not trying it. This is too beautiful for me to destroy this morning. We're going to leave you with the aesthetic. Thanks for stopping by, Dave.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
And if you want to be featured in our Your Morning Kitchen, email us, yourmorningottawa@ctv.ca, and we would love to have you on. Let's take a peek outside, shall we? And freezing rain warning in effect. It hasn't started quite yet. Roads are okay for now, but will it last? Our Centennial Glass Sky Cam showing the storm is on the way. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ottawa's favorite cash contest is back, and it's big. Move 100's $50,000 Beat the Bank. 7 vaults. You decide how much to take home. Sound the alarm? You lose it all. Be listening weekdays for your chance to win.
Good morning and welcome back. We are in for such a treat. We have multi-award winning country music artist. Boy, Nate.
Well,
you are here today, Nate.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations to you. You're launching your first headlining tour.
That's right.
Nate Holler is in the building and he sounds amazing. Like I'm like going, wait a minute, it's really early in the morning and this beautiful voice is wafting through the halls and it sounds amazing. Good morning to you.
You're the greatest. Good morning. Thank you.
Can we talk about your latest record that's out?
Yeah, Thought About You. I don't know. It came out like maybe a month ago, less than a month ago. And it's kind of it's a sad boy song a little bit.
A little bit,
It's about that moment when you think you're getting over someone. You've been through a breakup ever? Yes, okay.
Yes.
Well, and then something sends you in a spiral. You might see someone at a bar, some song reminds you of that person.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It is, but the sound of that song, like I said, listening to it, it's bitter. But it's sweet at the same time, too. Yeah. Okay, tell me about this headlining tour. You're going to be performing at Saw Gallery.
Yep.
So excited
Tonight,
for that.
People should come out. If you're watching, you're thinking, I got nothing going on. There might be a bit of a storm happening. I'm not sure, but forget about that.
Yeah.
Forget about it.
How's it preparing and heading out on this headlining tour? How's it feel?
It feels awesome. Like we've been in rehearsals for the last 4 or 5 days and just getting ready for it. It's been cool, like crafting my own headline set. So I'm really excited. We got some new songs in the set, some covers that are fun. So it's going to be a good night.
We are so excited that you're here, that you're going to be performing at Saw Gallery tonight, and you're going to give us just a little taste.
I'm just going to do a piece of the song right now.
Thought about
Is that cool?
you. That is so cool.
All right.
Nate Holler, take it away.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I've been good, been doing better. I have myself convinced, I have myself together. My buddies called, said let's go and grab a round. For the first time in a minute, I didn't turn it down. I was 2 drinks in, finally feeling like me again. I was getting old. Somebody knew, could have been the way that she smiled. 'Cause out of the blue, I thought about you. Now I'm right back on the rocks. Ain't like I can choose when I'm missing you or not. My night just took a straight nosedive. Now the whiskey ain't for fun. Thought this whole bar was on my side. Now look at what you done. I'm here hating every song on the jukebox. Can't stand to see them dancing slow in the neon. I thought that I could come in here, kick back and have a few. Thought I was in the clear for a minute, that was true. Then I thought about you. I thought about you. I thought about you. I thought about you. Yeah, I was 2 drinks in, finally feeling like me again. Yeah, I thought about you, now I'm right back on the rock. Ain't like I can choose when I'm missing you or not. My night just took a straight nosedive. Now the whiskey ain't for fun. Thought this whole bar was on my side. Now look at what you done. I'm here hating every song on the jukebox. Can't stand to see them dancing slow in the neon. I thought that I could come in here, kick back and have a few. Thought I was in the clear for a minute, that was true. Then I thought about you.
Wow, Nate Holler, country music is alive and well in you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
sound
me.
Beautiful.
It's early to be singing like this.
And
I was scared.
You did an amazing job, really. Thanks. Okay, so you're performing at Club Saw tonight. Yeah. Things get started at 7 p.m. This is your headlining tour. We're really glad you can make a little stop early in the morning with us. And hey, break a leg, have a fantastic time.
Thank
you're
you.
Do amazing.
I know you get up early, but come out to this show.
I know,
come out to this
It's not far. It's right around the corner here. So done.
Okay.
Okay.
Deal.
I'll see you there. All right. Thank you so much, Nate.
Cheers.
All right. We are back to wrap up the show here. You can see starting to rain. So gonna have to exercise caution out there. We're back to wrap the show. As I said, you're watching Your Morning Ottawa. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. And the road's still looking a little bit wet, misty. I know we've been talking all morning about the special weather statement in effect, and we also have a freezing rain warning. Roads are starting to look a little bit slipperier now. What's the latest on when this is going to arrive and then continue on?
Well, it is here. As you can see, the freezing rain, finally, it has happened. It was just a bit slower moving than originally anticipated. We will continue to see this freezing rain till about 8 o'clock tonight. That's when it will flip over from freezing rain to a freezing rain combination mixed. Of course, freezing rain loves the temperatures. We're sitting at -1 to +1, 10 to 20 millimeters of ice accumulation. Part of the problem, strong winds as well. So once that ice sits on our branches and of course our hydro lines, we're going to see these intense winds. So that just will be very, very difficult on hydro poles as well as hydro lines and branches throughout the course of the day.
Yeah, we've heard from Hydro Ottawa talking about there might be disruptions throughout the day. OC Transpo letting the mayor and all the councillors know that it is likely to see disruptions across the board. And then also Environment Canada reminding you, if you can, just to be safe, have that 72-hour emergency kit with food, water, your medications, just in case we start to see a dramatic storm like we saw in 2023.
Yes, and if you can charge your phones ahead, do that, because there may be power outages. If we do get that kind of accretion, 20 millimeters, pretty heavy.
Absolutely, and then strong winds. And the problem is it's going to stay cold, so it will stay icy over the next few days. Usually sometimes you get a little warm spell and it will melt the ice. We won't see that over the course of the next week, so that's why it's going to be kind of slippery and dangerous over the next at least 48 hours.
We hope it's not that bad, but be prepared.